Michael.
it's like trying to
Uh,
get it's like trying to get people to watch soccer if you're a big soccer fan, like I get
um,
it.
Yeah.
Michael, as far as tomorrow shows, the definite is going to be 9 o'clock tomorrow night. Um, as of right now, it's going to be myself and Chris Ferreira is one of the gentlemen that just left, and hopefully it's going to be Chris Ferreira is here too. Hold on, bring him back in. Sorry, brother, I didn't see you there.
Oh,
You
hey.
good? What's
And
up?
it's
What's
going
up?
to be Grandpa Rundown, the three of us discussing Raiders stuff tomorrow night. Uh,
On a
I got to talk.
Saturday night?
Yeah, there's no one on Saturday night, so I'm like, fuck it. I want to take the Saturday night slot and do something.
Man, so Papa Rundown's going to be on that? Because Papa Rundown just asked me about the the boxing card for tomorrow night, and I sent it to him. So that's funny. He might be watching it while he's talking to you guys, is what I'm guessing.
It's possible. And then I still got to talk to my son, Mike, because I've been trying to do a show with my son and I, just the two of us on Saturday afternoons, like every other
Oh,
Saturday. So I think this is the day. Tomorrow's the day that we're supposed to do it. I got to double check with him.
that could be
So,
cool. That could be
yeah,
cool.
it's just we've done it a few times already. I forget, was Nate, was he in with us last Saturday during the draft?
I
The
think
combine.
I think so. Yeah.
He was,
He
right?
was. He was. Yeah.
All right. So then maybe it's not this Saturday, but yeah, the show's actually called Jeff Squared.
Jeff
So it's the
Squared.
Jeff with the little tiny little number 2 next to it. Jeff Squared. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
we've
sweet.
done
When
one,
my
just
son
him and
gets old
I.
enough, I'm about to start that.
Dude, it's a
That'd be
blast.
dope.
And he sits right here next to me. I've got a second camera that I set up. So it looks like we're in two different spots, but yet he's sitting right next to me. So like in the middle of talking, if he says something, I can just reach over and smack him. And that's all you see is my hand come across the screen. But it's good because we got a good rapport. It's a fun time, and I'm excited and I'm proud to do it with him. It's a lot of fun, man. Love every
Yeah,
minute of
no,
it.
that sounds cool. Papa Rundown's
Yeah.
always, I mean, like Papa Rundown's fun to talk with, and like I was just explaining it last night how on Turf Show that Papa Rundown is super dedicated to the Raiders, right? But I'm telling you guys, like he's every bit as much dedicated, if not a little bit more dedicated to boxing. And I was telling the story how on February 22nd, there was this 7 world title fight card, and me and Papa Rundown were watching it together from 9 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon, like literally straight through, right? Like, and we were just going back and forth, and as we're watching it live. On that same Sunday, the 23rd at midnight, there was a boxing card in Japan, which had 2 world title fights and eliminator fight, and one of the fighters is the number 9 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. So if you guys could believe this, Papa Rundown and me were on the phone from midnight to 4 a.m. in the morning talking and watching that entire boxing. So I'm just saying, like, not a lot of people got that type of endurance. Like I always try to tell Jeff that I probably watch more boxing in 1 week globally than most people will watch it in a year. And again, that's why, like, I try to create positive conversations with people, because if you're talking to someone from the UK or from Mexico or, like all these other states that actually have boxing being shown to them every single day, like the NFL, it's a lot easier to have like a very positive conversation. But I've found that in the United States, most of the conversation turns negative because Stephen A. Smith doesn't even know anything about boxing, like literally, like, and it's just silly that there's no NFL Network style show in the United States that can talk about it, which, is fine. That's why I totally respect Jeff and this channel. And I was trying to keep it Raiders, Jeff. I was trying to keep it Raiders, bro. So.
Yeah, you got people mad at us in the chat already.
Make sure you put the notifications on.
No, you see, it's not me, bro. I was just saying, it's not me. And by the way, that Lyle Alzado, if you ever watch it, I think he was playing for Denver at the time when he fought Muhammad Ali in that TV match. But yeah,
was he with Denver or was he?
I think so, Jeff. I think he was still in Denver, and then he went to the Raiders like the year after or something.
If you watch that, it's kind of funny because I think he was in LA because Howie Long's the one that comments on it, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe Matt Millen. They said that Muhammad Ali knew it was an exhibition, but somebody forgot to tell Lyle that it was an exhibition. It wasn't like a real fight. Lyle Alzado went in there thinking it was a real fight. But as soon as he hit Muhammad Ali once, Muhammad Ali's like,
Yeah.
nope, not happening. Just pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
Lyle was serious about that fight.
No, he was.
He
He was.
If you watch that, I think it was a 30 for 30, right, on Lyle.
Well, they definitely. I mean, you guys could Google search it now, and they actually have like the original Wide World of Sports production of it, and it was. I think it was even free TV, Jeff, at the time because they hadn't done the pay-per-view model yet. And actually, it was Lyle Alzado that put up a ton of money to get that exhibition to happen. So Lyle Alzado was the original Jake Paul, man.
Yeah, but he could actually beat the shit out of real fighters.
Oh yeah, no, for real, man. It would be like if
too.
Max Crosby actually did spar Sean Strickland, and Sean Strickland was the champ at the time they sparred. And that's what I'm saying is it's like I love Max, and if Max really dedicated himself to boxing, he'd probably be a beast. I'm just saying that you can't. Like nobody does that, like Jeff. Like it would be like I guess if you went up to Max Crosby and said, "Hey Max, let me try to block you." Like you know what I'm saying? Like for real, man.
Wouldn't end well for me.
You don't want the smoke, dude. Like you don't want me to run you over right now,
No.
right? And it's the same thing. I think that at times fighters don't get the credit that way because even Ocho Cinco's dumbass had Lamont Roach on his show with Shannon Sharp. And he started like chirping at Lamont Roach. And I'm like, bro, Lamont Roach is 130 pounds. He's the 130-pound world champion. And he just fought at 135 against Tank Davis. If Ocho Cinco were to make it out of there I'll give him 2 rounds because he'll be able to run. But if he can make it 2 rounds against Lamont Roach, I'll give him props because I think Lamont Roach will beat the fuck out of him. Ocho Cinco. It's not even going to be close, man.
He hit him so hard.
Not even going to be close.
He wouldn't even know what hit him.
Yeah, exactly. So, but again, you see, I was trying to keep it Raiders, man. I was trying to talk to Jeff about the O-line talents.
Football player that boxed too.
What's that, Jeff?
Like Mark Gastineau was another former football player that went in and tried boxing, and it wasn't that good for him.
Yeah. And you know what too, Jeff? Like even currently right now, Frank Gore is in a boxing match, I think this month. And then also I know Le'Veon Bell, I think is still doing it. And then Adrian Peterson just did it.
About him.
Yeah, 2 years ago. So people get it. I mean, and it's all in. This is one of the things that we talked about last night, guys. Is me and Turf were saying to Spence the reason why we believe that the United States doesn't have the heavyweight boxers like what we used to in the 70s, 80s, right? It's because they all go football, baseball, basketball. Like it's not a thing like the reason why the best 160 pound on up current fighters right now in the world are all from either Russia, Ukraine, Uzbekistan. Like they're on all these different. I mean, if you guys can believe it, one of the best heavyweight fighters in the world right now, he's Chinese, guys. He's Chinese, but he's 6'6", 300 pounds. I'm just saying, right? But if that guy was an American, like let's say that same Chinese person grew up here and he was in high school, how much you want to make a bet, Jeff, that he'd be turned into a center or a lineman, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. Because I see that now. I see like Asian like players in high school that are linemen and like Korean linemen and Japanese. And it's like, dude, if you have the size, you're going to football, baseball, or basketball in the United States. Nobody's trying to make you box, man. Nobody's trying to do that.
Yeah.
Hey, who's Jeff? Who's La Piedra Negra?
He's been in the channel before a few different times.
Okay, that's cool, man. Because I look at his name and I think of Roberto Duran for some reason.
How the fuck you get Roberto Duran out of that?
Well,
name?
because Manos de Pedra, Hands of Stone was his nickname. So that's why every time I keep looking at it, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So
is that a Canelo fight still going down at Allegiant?
Yes, yeah. So we talked about that last night on the Ultimate Raider Fan 32 with Turf. We were trying to explain to the regular public that Turkey al-Sheikh was with Tom Brady, and of course, it has to do with the fact that it's not only that he's also obviously the Allegiant Stadium thing is happening, and that's going to be supposedly. So the date is September 12th. It's on a Friday, and the rumors I'm hearing, Jeff, just from the people that know me that are telling me certain things. It seems like it might become the first TKO event in where they'll somehow blend it in with NFL weekend on top of WWE. Like I keep hearing something about that. Like that whole week is going to be packed with like the boxing with Canelo and Crawford, and then WWE somehow. And I don't know yet. Do you know if they released the home schedule yet, Jeff? Like I don't know if the Raiders are playing September 14th or not.
No, that won't come out. The schedule won't come out until after the draft.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if they do it that way. Like if it's a September
Yeah.
14th date,
What
and
what
it's a
they
home game, because then you would have
like
like
they'll
all the Raider Nation behind it. And then the other thing is the guy that's in charge of Saudi funding, that's been funding Formula One, LIV golf,
Mhm.
soccer, and he's been funding boxing the last 2 years. He's now looking into like somehow kind of getting into NFL. And I think that the first thing that he's trying to do is bring an NFL game to Saudi, and the first team will be the Raiders versus someone. So,
I know the way they do this is they start usually after, well, prior to the draft, they'll start planning out the schedule. Like they already know who's playing home and away. That's the easy part. Um, okay. All right, no problem, Nate. I just
hey,
sent you a
LV,
message too.
thanks, man.
His internet shit. Yeah, I was probably gonna shut it down in a little bit. Um, but they'll start looking at dates now, and they go through, and I only know this because a couple of years ago they had the two people that run that for the NFL. They had them on Good Morning Football, and they were there talking about what they do. So they have a system that they put all the numbers into, like the dates and everything, and the system will spit out like 4,000 plus scenarios for schedules. But then they have to go to each individual stadium and look at the stadium schedule for concerts and other, things that are going to be at that venue. And then they
Mm.
have to plug and play and move things around. Then it ends up getting narrowed down even more. And then that's when they start looking at matchups. And which is why they wait until after the draft, because you have high profile players that they want to make, the NFL wants to highlight in a game. So they want to make sure if it's either going to be a primetime game. The only thing that's certain is the Super Bowl winner plays on Thursday nights. So
Oh, okay. Always the
the
first
first week,
Thursday night.
yep, the
Okay.
first the first week will be the Eagles playing at home because they raised their banner. That's the first game of the week. That's the way it's been for the last, I don't know how many years now.
But you don't
So
know
it will
against
be in
who.
Philly. It's just a matter of who they're playing. So
Okay.
no,
Okay.
yeah. So
All
you
right.
just don't know against who. But you can look at their schedule and see who they're playing at home, and you can have a good idea who it's probably going to be if you narrow it down enough.
Probably the Raiders. No, I don't know. Is the Eagles on our
I hope
schedule this
not.
year?
Yeah, they are, and it is in Philly that we're playing them. I
Oh,
hope
could be
not.
the Raiders.
It could be. It very well could be. Um, no, I don't want to play them week one. Mm-mm. Um, but then they start narrowing it down even further, and then eventually after the draft is when they'll come out with the finalized schedule, usually like a week or two after. But most of it's computer generated. But these two people are primarily the ones that go through and look at as many scenarios as possible as far as what's a good game. Because the whole thing is they want to try and avoid the shitty games at the end of the season. But you don't know what's going to be a shitty game and not at this early in the season or this early in the year, because you could have like the Redskins, you could expect them to have a great season, but all of a sudden they get off to an 0-6 start and they have no shot at making the playoffs. But yet they have scheduled for, like, say, a a primetime game later in the season. Well, guess what? That's when the flex, moves come in. That's why they did the flex thing years ago, is why they started that. It was because the schedules were made so far in advance and teams just go to shit during the season. So it's like this isn't it's not good for TV. It's not good for commercials. It's not good for their ratings. So they'll just jump games out. But yeah, it's pretty cool how they do it. It's a lot. I mean, it is a lot of work when they explained how they do it. It's I'd fucking go nuts. Like not last year. I think it was the year before. A lot of shit had to get moved because of Bad Bunny's concert tour. Um, they had to finagle quite a few things because the tour came out after the schedule was pretty much laid out, so they had to move things around because you weren't gonna be able to move his concert because there's so much involved in a concert versus a football game.
Hmm.
You know, so
Hmm.
that's the other
That
issue.
guy's concerts were crazy too. I think some of my
And
friends
that's
went
just
to.
it. That's why.
Yeah,
Hmm.
You got to think about the logistics to put on a concert versus just play an NFL game. Play an NFL game, there's not much because it's the team visiting that's bringing their own shit, and it's not really that difficult. The home team, everything's there already. It's the visiting team that has the stuff they have to bring. But you look at the shit that it takes for a concert. I mean, just the WWE. You look at how many trailer trucks they bring when they move from city to city. It's like watching the Barnum and Bailey circus in the old days when they used to roll into town. It's just truck after truck or, train car after train car when they used to do that. But yeah, it's a lot of work, man. It's like, holy shit, just to make schedules. Fuck.
Yeah. No, I mean, and you know what? It's interesting to me because it feels like they want to match make things, like
Hmm.
they're trying to make it fair, I guess, so that none of the 32 teams think one person's getting more favored than the other. And in all honesty, like how can you favor one team over another if you don't even know what the roster and how they're gonna play yet, and you don't know how well they're gonna do yet? So you can't really
Yeah.
favor anybody, right? You're just guessing in the first month of the season is always, we're just gonna guess and see what happens. Because the
Yep.
Bengals is a perfect example, right? No one
Yeah.
thought the Bengals would go that low, but their record didn't reflect how good they actually are. And had they snuck into the playoffs, man, I still think they could have upset one or two people. Like the Bengals were kind of legit that way. They just had an ass
Yep.
defense.
Yep.
So
And, Everett, yeah, they also the Raiders are also playing the Patriots. So they're coming here. They're actually coming to New England this year and next year. So for the next 2 years, the Raiders are coming here to play the Patriots. So I've already been in talk with some of the higher ups in the black hole chapter, trying to work a deal, not so much work a deal, but work hand in hand with them to coordinate the um, pregame party the night before. We've already got
oh,
feelers out there
cool.
for a location for that here. Yeah, because it's going to be our booster club that would normally host, something like that, host the tailgate, host the pregame party the night before. Um, so it's like I've got a lot of contacts a lot of feelers I put out there. I know Captain Jack wants to come up here for it, so definitely going to have him
Oh,
up
that's
here.
dope. Captain Jack's coming up.
Um,
That's cool.
yep, he wants to. He's never been to New England, so he wants to come up here for a game. So I was on his show last week. I was on talking to him. We were talking about that, and I asked him. I said, do you think Wayne's going to come? Aubrey, the Violator. He goes, more than likely, if Black Hole's going to be involved in it, then there's a good chance. Like I'd love for Gorilla Rilla to come out here too with them in Senior Raider because the three of them plus Captain Jack would be a huge draw. For the Saturday night pregame party, that just would add so much to it. Because the Raider fans travel extremely well. I've gone to games in Buffalo. I've gone to games in New York twice actually. And I've seen how many come out here for those games, and quite a few people travel. I mean, I remember being at one of the ones in New York. We were in New Jersey at a location where we had the pregame party, and there must have been at least 50, 60 people that flew in from LA that were here for that game that were at the pregame party. So that's a lot, if you think about it, and that's only just the tip of the iceberg with how many people actually came out here. Now I know Leo wants to come out here for it. LV wants to come out here. There's a few guys that do the
That's
YouTube
cool,
stuff that
man.
want to come out here too. So
That's
I know
really cool.
Jay's thinking about it. The good thing is I already told him, I said, if you guys do come out here, I can get a hotel fairly close by because I don't have the room in my house to put everybody up. Other
Right.
than that, I would. Um, but you won't have to worry about renting a car or calling Uber. I mean, I'll be their Uber. I'll pick them up because there's
Right.
a nice Holiday Inn not too far from my house, next
Okay.
town over.
That's
So
really cool, man.
if
That's
I can get them
awesome.
to stay there, and then I can just run and pick them up and do whatever we need to do. I've got a big enough vehicle where I can fit them all in it. It's a 6, 7 seater, so yeah, and it's not a
Cool,
minivan.
man.
I don't drive a
That's
minivan.
cool. Hey,
So it'll
Raider.
be a good time.
That's awesome. Hey, Raiders Food Chris, I sent you an Instagram message so that you could chat back with me and we could start following each other. And then
Oh yeah, I'll check you out, bro.
yeah. And
My
Jeff,
phone's charging right now, but I'll check it out in a second.
cool. And then Jeff, does this weird thing fucking happen to you, dude? Because I got like after last night's show, I got a bunch of the Raider people listening to me and Turf talking, and then they started like following me. So then I tried to follow them, and then it kept like fucking Instagram kept saying I have too many people, so I'm gonna have to delete a bunch of people so that I can follow more people. I didn't even know
Really?
there was a fucking limit, dude.
That's 3,700. You're following 7,500. Oh, that could be it. I didn't
Okay.
know there was a limit.
No, because I mean I remember back in in the old days I used it to
Yeah.
contact people because I didn't want to have to fucking pay long distance, so I'd be calling somebody in whatever country they're at, and we'd be talking stuff. But like, all right, but that's what it is. Then I didn't even know there was a fucking limit, dude.
I didn't know that either. I could definitely see that now. I mean, you're following 7,500 and you got 3,700 that follow you. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
I've never knew
I
there was a
gotta start
limit either.
weeding out whichever groups or people that I haven't talked to or that I haven't needed to see. A lot of it is boxing related, obviously, and MMA
Yeah, I figured
related
as
because of what
much.
I
A lot
used
of
to do.
overseas stuff too, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, like wow, I haven't looked at my numbers in a while. I've jumped. Holy shit.
yeah,
Seems like just
yeah,
last week I was at 800 follows. I'm up over 900 now.
that's
I'm
awesome, dude.
following
Nice.
1,400.
Yeah. I try to, I honestly try to use the Instagram more so that I could communicate with people. And
Yeah.
I try not to because I think if you're going to build anything up, if you're like what you're doing, Jeff, it's better for you to build up your YouTube. You know what I mean? That way you can get all of the
Well,
advertising stuff and
well,
all of that.
that's why I right now I've been concentrating on just getting to the point where I can get monetized here on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I'll branch off and I'll start working with um, Instagram or Facebook. Yeah, the TikTok, I don't want to waste my time with it right now until we know further what's going
Yeah,
on with it.
exactly. Don't,
You
dude.
know,
It's stupid. Don't even try.
Uh, well, the
Don't
good
try.
thing is for TikTok, I've already got I'm almost at 2,800 followers on that. And that's for me not really doing anything with it. That's just people that just follow me because it's linked on all my social media stuff. Like if you go to my link tree link that I have in the description at the bottom of this show, it'll pull up everything that's on the Booster Club, like all the social media. So it'll be the Facebook group, the website, our apparel store, because we do have a store now for the Booster Club. That whatever we sell for merchandise isn't for me, doesn't go in my pocket. That's strictly for the club itself. So we've got challenge coins on there, these winter hats, the baseball hat that I had on earlier. So we've got these on there now. Like I said, the challenge coins, the car magnets with the QR code on them. So right now I've been trying to just advertise the shit out of the store so we can
Right.
start selling some of that merchandise. We got t-shirts on there too.
Right.
So
Okay. Well, I mean, again, man, right now it's kind of a weird time out there. I mean,
yeah,
fucking eggs cost more than your shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean the good thing
Right.
is it's a flat rate shipping. So no matter where
Okay.
you are in the continental US, it's $13. So if you order, say, a coin, a shirt, and a hat, it's $13 no matter how much shit you order. You know?
Okay. Okay. All right. Man, the chat's getting a little. I don't know who.
Yeah,
I don't even.
it's the
Yeah, I
setup.
seen that
It's the
real quick.
vertical.
Oh,
I was
is
like,
that what
wait,
it
what?
is? All right, because I don't know who Pascal is, dude. Like, I have no idea who that is. Do we have a player in the Raiders named Pascal, bro?
I don't see
I don't.
that.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, I
know.
don't know who that is either.
I don't know. But what's up with you, Raiders, for Chris? Like, what were you talking about before I jumped in?
I can't even remember now. I was just saying how at first, I was just hearing all this hate about Gino, and now I'm kind of growing on the idea of having him.
He's good, bro. He's good.
Yeah.
All you have to do is really watch his first year with the Seattle Seahawks, and watch the second year, and watch the third year, and you're gonna be like, damn, Geno Smith's pretty good. I mean, I can I say this, Jeff, or are you gonna get mad if I say it? But if you look at those years of Geno Smith, they're better than Derek Carr, except for maybe Derek Carr 2016 before he got injured.
Yeah,
You
I was actually reading some of the comments, and some people were like, "I'd rather have Derek Carr." I'm like,
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just because that's like I've heard some of the Raider people say, "What would be so bad about having Devontae Adams back?" And I'm like, "Come on, man! like you guys got to stop this. You got to stop this love affair with."
Yeah,
I mean,
let's try some other things, because those things didn't work out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
About the only person I would be okay with having back, Jeff, is Josh Jacobs. I'd be totally okay with having Josh Jacobs.
Oh my God,
back.
yeah, without a doubt. You shitting me? Why would you not? I mean,
Right.
God,
Right.
take him back in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I
Right.
still got a bone to pick with Telesco about that, for sure.
Yeah.
You
That
know,
wasn't
like,
that.
I know Rundown was getting excited, or not excited, but kind of upset about how if we want to, if we bring in, or people are pushing for Najee Harris to come here as a free agent running back, and we're willing to pay him the same amount that Josh Jacobs was asking for.
Yeah, that
I,
sucks, bro.
I get that. I get why you would be upset, but you got to remember what happened with Josh Jacobs was not this current regime. That was Telesco and that whole fiasco
I
a
was
year
still
ago.
into the whole we could have just franchise tagged him and he would have been able to do anything about it anyways.
We had already franchise tagged him, though.
I know, but we had one more. We had one more
We just still had one
franchise
more.
tag. It's kind of like T. Higgins, like
Yeah.
T. Higgins wanted a deal and they were like, well, you know what? We're just going to franchise tag.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I
mean, it's not the worst in the world, by the way. T. Higgins franchise tag was $26.5 million.
Yeah, I didn't want
Guaranteed,
that.
fully guaranteed. So so check this out. If he plays a play and gets injured, he's getting all that money, no matter what. So I'm just saying, like, it's not the worst thing in the world to be franchise tagged. You're getting 100% guaranteed money.
I didn't want to pay whatever he was asking for. That's too much. Way too much.
Well, at the time when me and like Chris Rundown, we were all talking about it, I was like, why don't we just franchise tag him? Because the franchise tag at that time, I think, was $12.7 million, which is just a little bit less than what he ended
Oh no,
up.
I would have been fine with doing that for Jacobs. I'm talking about T. Higgins. I didn't want to spend that kind of money for T. Higgins.
Oh, hell no. No.
Agent.
Oh,
Absolutely not.
no. That's what I was saying is DK would be cheaper. That's why
Oh, yeah.
I was giving the whole scenario that don't be surprised if Spytech spins a deal where he's like, look, man, here's what's going to happen with DK Metcalf if you guys don't play ball. You're going to wait till post-June, and then you're either going to have to cut him or he's not going to play. Either way, you're going to owe all that money. Or I know you guys wanted XXX. How about before the draft, you give us your second round pick, and we'll take DK Metcalf off your hands and we'll swap first round picks.
Yeah.
And at that point, that my whole thing was now we got 2 second round picks that are pretty good. And I think Seattle's not picking that low, dude, right? They're picking like what, 17?
16.
16? Yeah.
I think it is.
I'll
Hang on,
switch
so
6 with
second.
16. I'll switch 10 spots. I'll switch 10 spots. That's fine. I'm cool with it.
18. They got 18.
18? Yeah, sure.
Would
I
you
mean,
guys
because
take Dart at 16?
I'd probably take Dart at 18 or whatever, right?
Yeah,
I'd,
seriously.
I'd probably take Dart, or honestly, if Armand Membu's still there, I'll take Membu, see if Dart drops the first, because we would be picking 6th in the second round anyways. See if
Well,
Dart falls far enough.
I just did a quick, what do you call it? Mock draft.
Okay.
And I stopped it right when it got to our pick at number 6. So this is what went first: Cam Ward, Abdul Qadir, Membu to the Giants, Will Campbell to the Pats, Travis Hunter to the Colorado. I mean,
So wait. So who's
Jacksonville.
available? Who's available right now?
Right now, the top best player available is Mason Graham.
Oh, I'm taking
Shador's
Mason Graham.
Shador's ranked at number 10.
I know. I'm taking Mason. Why am I having this conversation with you? I'm taking Mason Graham,
You know
man.
my
I'm
answer.
taking Mason Graham, and I'm not even thinking
took it.
about it. And then I'm going to go get Jackson Dart. I'll trade back up to get Jackson Dart.
Let me see who went.
Yeah, I would still take Shador in that scenario.
Man, you really like him, huh? You guys
Yeah.
really think because the difference between an instant day one player and a player you're going to have to sit behind Geno Smith, who you will most likely have to have signed to another 3-year extension. Okay, so what's going to happen with his current status is he's going to play out. He's got this final year. He's not going to restructure that deal. It's going to be like the Max Crosby thing. We're going to end up giving him, let's say, a 3-year extension. 3-year extension at, let's say, $40 million a year, right? Which would be pretty cheap 3 years from now, anyways. So let's call it 3 years, 120 million. And then, like, dude, you're gonna get Sanders to sit behind him for, let's say, 2 years in a row, when you could have Mason Graham starting for you right now, terrorizing. Because if anyone, look, like I remember, Jeff, I this is my claim to fame this year, is when everybody was trying to predict the Super Bowl, I predicted it exactly how it was going to happen. I predicted it exactly what was going to happen in the first half. It's all on record, Raider Chris. Like, you could literally listen to me when they asked me, how do I think the Super Bowl is going to go? And I said, here's exactly what's going to happen. Here's what the score is going to be in the first half. Here's exactly what's going to happen in the second half. And the final score is going to be this. And my final score is within 3 points of what it was, right? And the reason why I believed it that hard is the Raiders for the last 2 years have already shown you how to beat Patrick Mahomes. We've shown it to you. We've shown you the formula. And if you have better players than us, then you should be able to beat them. And the Eagles had an amazing front four, and they did exactly what the Raiders were doing. In fact, I still think we could have beaten them last year. We kind of let that one get away from us, right?
Yeah.
And our players were like injured all over the place. So that's why, to me, just try to imagine, Raider Food Chris, just try to imagine this. Our front four being Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins, and then you're switching NASCAR, Adam Butler and Mason Graham, right? Your NASCAR, and then you still got Tyree Wilson that kind of help out, right? And then let's say you do re-sign Malcolm Coots for $8 million and a Twinkie, and, or you get, or you get Clavon Chason, right? Like I'm just saying, like, that front four would be so scary at this point that if you NASCAR the hell out of, I don't care if it's Justin Herbert, I don't care if it's Bo Nix, I don't care if it's Patrick Mahomes, man. Like, Patrick Mahomes is as easy to beat as Tank Davis was on Saturday night, bro. Like the formula's already there. The Raiders have already shown it. You
lost me at Tyree, bro.
What's that?
I said you lost me at Tyree.
No, come on, man. Come on. And you know what? Here's what I'll say about the Tyree pick. All right. I didn't want Jalen Carter, so I admit that, because I was worried that during that time, Jalen Carter wouldn't have made it in Vegas. I didn't think that we had the correct infrastructure to keep his discipline correct here in Las Vegas. Okay. So I didn't want Jalen Carter. And I hear the whole, man, blah, 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 you were wrong. Okay, whatever. but I did want CJ Stroud because what I remember during that year is that CJ Stroud was at a boxing event here in Vegas. They were already talking to him, and there was really like heavy rumors flying saying that we were going to trade up to go get him. So I honestly thought we were going to have CJ Stroud, and then nothing happened. and then at that point, Tyree Wilson looked pretty good on tape, man. So I gave him a pass on year 1 because of the injury. He did get better year 2, and now we're at year 3. So let's see what happens. If he's ass Raiders for Chris, I'll be right on your wagon, dude, saying get him out of here. But let's just see what happens in year 3. Let's just see. Yeah. I'm not saying he should be a starter. What I'm saying is, if you run the NASCAR against Patrick Mahomes and you keep switching bodies over and over, they're not going to be able to handle the front 4 against us. That's why I'm like I'm so heavy on getting Mason Graham, man. I'm like if he drops, but honestly, like Jeff, man, you really think Jacksonville or fucking New England's not going to take Mason Graham, bro? You know what I'm saying?
New England needs an offensive tackle and a wide receiver. That's their biggest blaring weakness. If they can pull off a trade and get DK Metcalf, then they probably will either go offensive line or they will take Mason Graham.
So, right. So do you think Geno is our long-term answer?
3-year bridge answer?
3 years, I think he is.
Yeah, 3 years. I would say 3 years until we figure out who the real quarterback's going to be. That's why I was saying is I'm not as desperate, Chris, for Shedeur, just because if there's a better player above him, I take the better player because I could always get Jackson Dart. Let's even say worst case scenarios, we kept getting best available player and we didn't get a quarterback until, I don't know, Will Howard in the 5th or 6th round, right? Who cares, man? Geno Smith's going to be the starter for the next 2 to 3 years anyway, no matter what. And whoever's behind him is just going to get trained. And Aiden O'Connell is going to be the backup. You know what I mean? I'm not worried. I wasn't worried about it. I would have been more worried if we would have gotten Aaron Rodgers. I thought that would have been stupid. I thought that would have been a dumb move.
I was kind of all for it, to be honest.
Yeah, I was on that train too. I'm not gonna lie,
bro. How you doing, brother?
I mean, I'm just saying, guys, Achilles ripping. He's kind of a drama queen. And sure, he could throw the ball, but so could Geno Smith, man. People shit on Geno Smith like he sucks. Bro, his O-line sucked. And he still did decent.
Horrible.
And he still almost got him to the playoffs. His O-line was ass. It wasn't him. But
that's what I'm saying. At first, I was like, "Oh, hell nah." But now that I'm actually looking more into him, and I kind of like it. I mean, I feel like it is an upgrade over what we got for sure.
Oh, 100%. And I love Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, me too.
He's 100% upgrade from Aiden O'Connell. I think I like the move just because Aiden's going into his 3rd year now. That means he'll have 1 more year, right? So that's a 4th. That's 4th year. So if we're ever going to trade Aiden, now would be the time to do it. Or if we don't, then we have a solid backup who will probably get an extension as a backup, which is fine with me too. And in the meantime, we're going to keep spinning the wheel to try to find who the future star quarterback's going to be. And that's why I always say the name Arch Manning, because honestly, if Arch Manning shows up and we're like, are we willing to trade up for this kid? Come on, Jeff. You don't want the Peyton Manning family to be a part of the Raiders with Tom Brady, dude? Come on, bro. Of course we do. Of course we want the whole Manning family.
I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it happening, bro.
I don't see it at all, to be honest with you.
I mean, if Arch Manning blows everyone away in Texas this year.
Yeah, but I haven't seen anything from him.
Yeah.
I know, because he hasn't started yet. He will, though.
But how can anybody be sitting there saying he's the first rounder next year, the number 1 pick, and he hasn't done shit?
I know. I get it. No. I know. You're right.
It's a gut feeling.
Yeah, I just want to remind you too, Jeff, that Cam Ward before he went to Miami was also ass, and then he went to Miami and became now the number one choice for quarterback.
The kid's in Texas, and he couldn't even be out Quentin Ewers. I mean, so obviously, how good is he really?
Well,
You know,
Quentin, you have to remember though.
is he even gonna come out next year's draft? You don't even know if
No,
he's
no,
gonna come out. He might
maybe
be
not.
2
Maybe
years
not.
out still.
Maybe
Yeah.
not. But you
So
have to
now,
also
we're
remember.
gonna wait 3 years basically. So we're gonna wait 3 drafts before we
Well,
even have a
okay.
shot.
What all I'm saying is, like, first of all, Quinn Ewers, if you remember the year before, dude, the reason why he's on the cover of the college football game is because he was pretty awesome the year before. All right. So he had this year that wasn't great, and then he decided to go to the draft. If he would have went to the draft the year prior, he probably would have been a first round type pick at that time, right? And then secondly, again, if we extend Geno Smith to $40 million, so let's say that's the deal. Let's say, Jeff, the deal is we're paying him for his current contract, plus we're paying him for 2 more guaranteed years of $40 million a year. Let's just say, okay, that's 3 years of $40 million a year, and you're telling me that in those 3 years we're somehow gonna take Geno Smith out? Dude, we're not gonna do the Daniel Jones, man. We're not. Like, we're gonna let him play. So that means whoever we take, whether we draft one this year or we draft one next year or we draft one the year after that, none of them are going to play anyways. None of them are going to start, bro. You know?
Yeah.
So that's why the JJ McCarthy thing is a real thing. Chris, that the whole JJ McCarthy thing, that's real, man. Tom Brady really likes him. He's from Michigan. And if Spytech likes him too, if Sam Darnold signs with the Vikings for more than 1 year, don't be surprised if JJ McCarthy comes to the Raiders. Now, also don't be surprised if Sam Darnold signs a 5-year contract with the Seattle Seahawks, because now they don't got anybody except Sam Howell, man. And Sam Howell got nice hair, but he ain't the starter.
That was Ben Johnson's guy, bro.
Well,
I'm just
hey,
kidding.
man. I mean, I don't know. Sam Howell got nice hair, though. He got nice hair. I'll give him that.
He's got some luscious locks.
He got some, he's got some luscious locks, bro. But no, he's not. He's not. He's not it. So no, that's my whole thing, Jeff. Is that Geno Smith is locked in. People need to calm down. Like, that's why I don't agree with Rundown in the no matter what. It's Shedeur Sanders. No matter what. It's like, really, dude. If Abdul Carter falls to 6, you're gonna say Shedeur Sanders over Abdul Carter. If Mason Graham falls to 6, come on, man. What are we talking about here? You know, I can't. And I'll be honest with you, Chris, and I'll say this and I'll let you go. But if Armand Membu fell there, and it was between Armand Membu and Shedeur Sanders, I would take Armand Membu, dude. And I'm not the only one. I'm not. Daniel Jeremiah has Armand Membu ranked 11th as an overall player. He has Shedeur Sanders ranked like 20. Dude, you know, I'm just saying, man. Like, what are we reaching for? But go ahead.
LePedra, I don't know where you're seeing that, but from what we're hearing, the fans are pissed that they've traded away Geno Smith. That's what we've been hearing all night.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything where people are like, "Oh, I'm glad he's gone," because you got to look at what they're left with for.
That's what I'm saying. What is their plan? Yeah, like
I don't even think Seattle knows what their fucking plan is.
Maybe they're gonna draft Shedeur. No, just.
Hey, you know what? They might. Seriously, they might. If he falls, because think about it this way: if the Raiders pass on Shedeur Sanders, where's he going, guys?
Jets. Unless the Jets work something prior to.
Oh my gosh, the Jets. I think the Jets are going to trade up, honestly, to go get Cam Ward.
Oh, about the Jets working. Oh no, the Giants are looking for a trade with.
No, the Giants are going to get Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams.
No, the Giants are talking about. No, the Giants are talking with Arizona about possibly trading Kyler Murray.
They're not going to trade Kyler Murray, bro. Come on, man. What are we talking about here?
No, you never know.
Do
you think Kyler Murray's better than the quarterbacks in this draft?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's shorter than them.
Bro,
Oh,
Kyler Murray, bro, is good. He's good. You put him
He
in
moved.
the right offense, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's good, man.
Find a bunch of short offensive linemen and you're good.
Well, you have to put him in kind of like a boot, like a spread offense where he could run to the outside. You know, Doug Flutie style, baby.
He
So-
needs to learn how to play quarterback in stilts.
But I definitely think he's better than
Small.
Cam Ward. And in terms of NFL experience, dude, like he's already better than Cam Ward and he's already better than Shador. And he's an
got
automatic,
yeah.
you know.
I mean, anybody that's already in the NFL is pretty much better than anyone coming out of college for the majority of
Yeah.
the ones coming out of college. Rephrase that before I
Yeah.
get yelled at.
Hey,
man.
Crayon Cruncher. So I'm big on Jacoby Myers. You'll
I love
hear me on
Jacoby Myers.
everybody's show. I always talk about how I don't think he gets enough credit for how good he is, man.
Ah.
He's good. He's good. I don't think because I'll be honest, I don't think he's the wide receiver one anyways, because
No.
our wide receiver one is Brock Bowers. Everything rolls through Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is the first target, and then everybody comes after Brock Bowers, right? So that's what kind of makes our offense roll, which is why I don't want to just give away Michael Mayer for cheeseburger. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we can hang on to Michael Mayer and not like, I guess I'll be okay if we're in the third round and a really good running back happens to be there and Michael Mayer is the trade piece. I'd go with something like that, but other than that, I don't want to give up on Michael Mayer. I'd rather just keep him because we still have him for one more year after this. You know,
Well, we know
so,
Jack Kenna doesn't want to get rid of him. I know that.
well, I know, but Jack Kenna's in love with fucking everybody, dude. I mean, like,
Yeah.
if you played for Notre Dame, I mean, he loves Estime.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, Estime was ass for Denver. You know what I mean? Like so.
It's
You know,
funny.
Kenna's gonna talk your ear off about Notre Dame players. But
My take on Jacoby Myers, when we first were talking about bringing him here, I was excited because I live in New England. I knew what he meant to the Patriots. I knew what he did when he was here with the Patriots. I was completely fine with us getting him because I knew we were getting a good wide receiver. Not a number one, but he's the top number 2 wide receiver as far as I was concerned. He got put into default number 1 once we got rid of Devontae Adams. Kind of had no choice. You know, he became our top wide receiver.
right.
I love Jacoby Myers. The dude's got a 0% drop rate from last year.
Exactly.
He doesn't drop the ball.
Well,
He's
again,
a
Jeff,
true possession receiver.
yeah, and what I love about Jacoby Myers is he blocks the shit out of people.
Yes,
Like
he does.
he
He's a good
actually
blocker.
plays wide receiver. Like people always make fun of me when I compare him to AJ Brown, but I always say, look, he's not the size of AJ Brown, but he's basically like a slimmer AJ Brown. Like he'll block for you. He'll do all of the dirty shit that no other diva ass wide receivers will do. So why would I ever want to get rid of that guy? And he's costing me less than 20 million. Come on,
You
man.
weren't going to see Devontae go out there and throw blocks every time. You weren't going to see Randy Moss do that or
Exactly.
Ocho Cinco. Terrell Owens wouldn't do it either.
Exactly.
Jerry Rice would. Tim
Yes.
Brown would.
Yeah.
Devontae ran like 90 yards on the Jets to save a touchdown. No.
Yeah. Like even fucking who was the John Taylor? John Taylor blocked all the time, remember, for the 49ers? Jeff, like that's what I'm saying is it's like I want a receiver that's going to play the entire position of the receiver, not just I'm really good at catching. Okay, dude, we have Brock Bowers. He's really good at catching too. He's also really good at blocking. He's also really good at running. Like, you know, like come on. Like
Trey, it looks like from your logo you're probably a Chiefs fan. We're not talking about Ward at all because we've got no shot of getting Ward unless we move up to number 1. And we don't.
And why the fuck would we do that, Trey, if we already just got Geno Smith? I mean, are you a Raiders fan, bro? Or are you paying attention?
He's not. He's not. It looks like he's a Chiefs logo on his thing.
Well, tell your referee to stop calling making bad calls, man. If you're, hey, actually, you'll like this one, Jeff. On the Ring Magazine, Instagram, I put a comment and tagged a couple of Raider people in turf, and I put because they're talking about the Tank Davis Lamont Roach fight having been a draw, and that referee didn't call a knockdown because apparently that fucking referee is stupid. But anyway, I put on the comment, hey, I didn't know that the referee for the Chiefs can also ref a boxing match. Like because that's the whole thing, man. Is the one time the Chiefs don't get any ref calls is the Super Bowl, and look what happened.
Yeah.
You got to ask
They
them.
lose it. Oh yeah,
Exactly.
Mayer is actually decent. They need to give him some. Yeah, they definitely need to give him more snaps. But I mean, again, most of the season last year, he was he was off dealing with his mental health issue, which I'm
Right.
fine with. I have no issue with
Yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah.
he got it
And
taken
again, man,
care of and he
I'm
came
not
back good.
low on Mayer and I'm not high on Mayer. I feel about Mayer the same way I feel about Aiden O'Connell. How about we give him a chance?
Alan Correa, I need someone to pay my mortgage for me so I don't have to make the house payments anymore.
So, all
What's
right,
up, Jason?
Jason Downs. Hey,
What's up,
Jason
brother?
Downs is here.
What's up, Jason?
What are we on? Oh shit, we're at 6 hours.
Hey, I was gonna tell you, Jeff. So, so like one of the podcasts I'll go on is this boxing channel. Every once in a while,
Always comes back to boxing with you.
No. I want to tell you his format though to help you out.
Like,
So this guy, he's on like even longer than you on lives, bro. There was one live I was on him with it for 6 hours. He went 12 hours straight, right? Here's the thing, though.
9's the longest.
Okay, here's the thing though. The more you do it, like he averages, even when he was doing the 12-hour one, his 12-hour one had an average of 300 people live with him, and it like would go to 600. You know, it'd drop down to like the 200s. But I think there's a thing about staying on live for just a long time, and just more people are viewing it, and it eventually just keeps turning.
Even now, oh, you can't see that number, can you? Above
No,
me?
I can't see the number.
Like even right now, I mean, there's 30 in here right now still watching.
Wow. Yeah, it's 3:00 in the morning where you're at, dude.
Yeah. At one point when everybody was in here, when Run was in here, I think just not too long after you joined, we were up to like 90 something in the chat at one time. And viewing at one time.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, I think there's a magic to that
for a while.
Yeah, no, there's a magic to it.
There's a few things that incorporate that. One is if you've hit that algorithm, that's the first one. From your past shows. The other one is the viewing that you're doing. So like doing this vertical, and I got that from Afakasi. He gave me the hint on that a while ago. Doing the vertical is a big draw because it shows well on a phone.
Right.
So by having this vertical style instead of doing the big wide screen one, because on the big wide screen one it shows up really small. On a phone like this, it fits perfect.
Right.
It plays better. It also goes out as a shorts feed, which attracts more people too. Because if it doesn't go out as a shorts feed and goes out as a regular full blown screen, it doesn't hit that metric. When it hits the other metric, it's perfect.
Right. Hey, La Piedra Negra says he leaves it on while he's drinking. So there's probably a lot of blackout drugs like me on here.
Yeah, that's fine. Gives me the views. Gives me the hours. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I've gained 15 subscribers tonight already.
Oh, that's awesome, Jeff. That's great.
No,
that's great.
That's a big jump.
That's awesome.
I'm actually in. Yeah, Jason, I agree. Thanks, brother. I appreciate everything too. I'm in the.
If you were here earlier, Jason, just so that you know, man, there were a hell of people on the chat trying to get me to talk about boxing, and I was really like trying to respect Jeff's channel and keeping it to football, man. I was trying
to keep telling them to shut the fuck up, but no.
I mean, like I said, Jeff, like you know what I mean, man. You know how we don't like to talk to Raider, like people who don't really know about the Raiders, and then they'll say something stupid like, "Oh, the Raiders aren't that good."
Yeah.
Like, do you watch football, man? Do you do
some
it?
Don't.
Yeah.
Some don't. Yeah, I'm on step 3 right now. I'm in the getting reviewed process.
That's awesome. That's
So
amazing. How about you,
by
Ray? How about you, Chris? Where are you at on your channel?
Oh man, I'm just a little, I'm just a little guy over here. I'm just
Oh, don't
getting
worry about
started.
that. No, don't worry
Yeah,
about that. That's how everybody gets started, man. That's exactly how
yeah,
everybody gets started. And I mean, like believe me, Chris, everybody's been asking me to do a channel for 2 years, and I still haven't done it. I guest on a lot of people's channels all the time, but it's one of these things where the one that I'll probably start one, maybe we'll see, is me and Turf were supposed to do the knockout canvas on YouTube, which is already up, and it was supposed to start last year, but Turf's been busy, so that's why we did that 2 hour like fight content show last night, just to
okay,
kind of like get it out there. And a lot of the people were like, "When are you guys starting this?" And it's more of it's not designed to be a we're gonna argue thing show. It's more like, hey, if you don't know anything about this particular sport, we're gonna help guide you and kind of just let you know who the players are, who the teams are. It's kind of like what makes a good Raider channel work for a mass audience is if you can get casuals to come into the Raider channel and learn something.
yep.
You know what I mean? Because otherwise, it just turns into
definitely
everyone
buying both of
arguing
that.
about what do you guys want to do, quarterback, blah blah blah. But you'll get good questions like in a channel like this,
Thanks,
like
bro.
Crayon Cruncher said, "What's your guys' top position of need now that we have the quarterback fixed?" So what would that be for you, Chris? What would you like to have now that we have a quarterback? And it shouldn't be Shador Sanders.
I would probably say a good offensive tackle or guard.
See, now you're talking our language, bro.
Yeah,
That's what me and Jeff have been saying this whole time.
I would go guard first because that's
Yep.
like an immediate need.
Yep.
But I wouldn't be against grabbing a tackle at some point in this draft that we know we can groom
Yeah.
to fit in
Like like
behind
like
Colton Miller
like the
because we only
guy
got
from
Colton Miller
Ohio
for one
State.
more
I
year.
told you, dude. Like the guy.
Well, we've got Colton Miller for one more year.
I know. No,
So
I
we
know.
we,
I know.
we either
I think we're
we
gonna
have a
extend him.
decision.
I
Well,
think we're
that's a
gonna extend him.
possibility. But
Right.
either way, you still need to be ready because if he doesn't want to come back with us, because he's going to be a free agent. So if
Right.
we don't do something with him during this current season and extend him, like our past regime should have done with some of these guys, like we shouldn't have this many free agents this year. That's because the past regimes fucked up. Telesco should have reworked some of these contracts prior to the end of this, or prior to this season,
Right.
ending. Like Spillane should have been wrapped up a long time ago.
I agree.
Um, some of these secondary guys should have been wrapped up prior to the end of the season. Because to go into the off season with this many free agents is absolutely ridiculous. Because now you're
Right.
cap strapping us because now we have a decision to make on guys that we don't want to let go.
Right.
So
Right.
that's my big problem with what happened this past season too. A lot of people haven't even really been talking about that. They fucked
Right.
up and not retaining some of these guys ahead of time instead
But
of
but
letting them
but
get
again
to
though,
this
Jeff,
point.
they fucked up because they kept the revolving door of front office and the revolving door of coaching.
Yep.
So because
Yep.
they like, dude, like we can go all the way back to the whole McDaniels and Ziegler thing. They fucked up there because those people had a plan, then they switched it up, then that group had a plan, then they switched it up. Like we need to stop switching it up. We from Bisaccia on, you know what I'm saying? Like we needed to stop switching it up. What's up? What do you say?
He goes, I want Jeff past Mitchell Rents.
That's funny.
Dude,
That's
I
funny.
keep getting put in timeout on his show because I go in there and I talk shit about Chugs.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well,
All
because
right.
I was in there the other day and someone put up a super chat. What does Chugs think about the Raiders quarterback position needs? And someone else goes, "Why the fuck are we asking him? He's a Texans fan." So I responded the same way. I said, yeah, let's ask the Texans fan what he thinks about the Raiders quarterback position.
Right.
And then boom,
Well,
I got
Chubbs
shadow
probably
banned. I'm
blocked
like,
you out, man.
it
So,
wasn't him. It wasn't
oh,
him that
okay.
did it. Mitch did it because Mitch
Oh,
even
okay.
goes, "Any boosters? That was me that did that. This is your last warning. Knock it off." Blah blah blah. And then when I finally was able to start chatting again, I said, all I did was repeat what the guy 5 people ahead of me said, and you put me in timeout, but you didn't do shit to that guy. Like,
Right,
what the
right.
fuck? Have
But
some fucking
and
skin.
again, like with everybody who's building the channels, like Chris, my advice, bro, is as long as you're having fun doing it, dude, then do it. And when you do get people that aren't flowing with you on the chat, you could choose to interact or not interact. My philosophy is always, look, man, if you want to go one on one with me, click the stream. I'm happy to go one on one with you, but it's fucking easy for
Yeah.
you to be type. It's easy for you to type. That's easy. I can go behind this too and type and tell Jeff he's an idiot and all of that. Or I can jump on and say to Jeff, dude, that's fucking stupid. Like, why would I agree with you with that? And that's what I mean is you're either in or you're out, man. So if you're brave enough to type, dude, then be brave enough to hit the button.
Oh,
Hit
that's
the
right. I
button.
forgot Raider was in the chat with me when that was going down too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Fuck Chuck.
Raider
Sorry.
Ryan actually, you see, like Raider Ryan, a few before he wrote the O line. Can you show that one? Like a few comments
right here.
before Raider Ryan put, yeah, we definitely need to, yeah. So that's what we've been saying. Like that's why. So my dream scenario, Raider Ryan, just so that you know, is if we get Becton, which people like Severe disagree with me on it, just because he doesn't think that Becton can work in Chip Kelly's offense, which I mean, I guess it's fair, but at the same time, man, does Mekhi Becton not look like a Raider? I mean, the guy's 6'8", 400 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Like that guy looks like a Raider. Like so, and he just won the Super Bowl. I'm all in on trying to pay him. But in my scenario, we would have Colton Miller, Armand Membu playing left guard, JPJ at center, Mekhi Becton at right guard, and then Glaze at right tackle, and then we'll have all these good backups. That's my dream scenario.
Well, we definitely need depth at offensive line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys on that for sure.
Yeah.
Raider Ryan fuck Chugs. They gave Jeff a timeout. That's the second time I've been putting timeout on that show.
Yeah. Yeah.
To the point, the first time I was putting timeout, I actually got a DM from Mitch Rance.
Really?
That. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He goes, I don't appreciate people coming in into my show and talking bad about the show. I said, dude, I didn't talk bad about the show. All I did was call out Chugs. I didn't say anything bad about your show. I said, I wasn't giving you shit. I was busting Chugs' balls. Well, it's all about love and promoting, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I almost want to tell them, go fuck your face and get some thicker skin and deal with it.
That is the thing.
You can't handle a little bit of trolling here and there.
And that's the thing is once it's being monetized, like even earlier today, Jeff, I don't mind JA like coming at me about the boxing. I'm just saying that this isn't a boxing program, so I'm trying to respect the time. We believe me, you go to me and Turf show, we can chop it up and that's no problem. But Jason Downs is pretty funny.
I know, I'll get to that one.
He's a pretty funny guy.
Hey,
is LV Raider back? Because he was mentioning Chris on his chat.
I've seen that. Yeah, man.
Talking about this, Chris.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, dude, I thought you were gone.
I think he's just listening right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah, he's probably just chilling.
He's got good stuff, man. I like a lot of his takes. He's got smart takes.
That's my put it because you know what, Chris, you kind of blended in with the background there, so I'm just changing that up so we can see you. It was weird.
I'm camouflaging over here.
Yeah. Nate's my Thursday night partner on Raider Coast to Coast, and I loved the way that we worked together, and we're also now on the Raider Connection. So I've enjoyed every minute of getting on and hosting shows with him because the kid knows his shit.
And I like that. I like that
stuff, man.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the type of show. Like when I was hosting it whenever I hosted for Captain Jack, I try to explain to people, look, guys, I'm gonna give you facts, whether you like it or disagree with it. I'm just reading you something that you could literally Google, man.
Yeah.
telling you what this says. I'm just saying, because some people get upset when I'll say something like what I did tonight when we came on. I was like, we need O-line. And then Chris started saying, not you, Chris, but the other Chris. The other Chris was like saying, well, we were like number 13th it's statistically for O-line last year for pass protection, blah, blah, blah. And in my head, I just kept saying, yeah, I know. And if you do an eye test, Aiden O'Connell got injured because of the O-line, and Gardner Minshew got injured because of the O-line, and every quarterback that we have gets injured because of the O-line. So until we fix the O-line, it honestly doesn't matter. I mean, we could have Lamar Jackson and he's going to get killed. It doesn't matter.
Oh, God, yeah. Nope.
So.
Jason, I have met some good friends in this channel, plus my OnlyFans page is taken off. Be first redneck to pass Hunter Biden's girlfriend.
That's funny. That's funny. Portuguese
Yeah,
Jim, we talked about Geno Smith for like 5 hours, man. 5 hours. You missed it.
Yeah.
5 hours of nothing but Geno Smith.
Geno Smith is our guy.
Yeah. Geno Smith is our guy, bro.
We pretty much beat the shit out of that whole
scenario.
Well, not scenario, but the fact of the trade and everything. Ray Ryan, see if Mitch is willing to come on your show and say his reasons. He went on Raider D podcast to say his part on always talking shit about AOC. We actually tried getting him to come on the Raider Connection. Nate sent him a message. And then the funny thing is, the private message that Mitch sent me went from him pretty much yelling at me, telling me not to talk shit on his show or talk bad about his show. And then how it ended the conversation with him and I was trying to work out a schedule so he could come on our show. That's how much I flipped him in that short time of talking to him in a TM about, just flip the whole script on him about him coming on the show. Hasn't happened. He's definitely not gonna now after this past week. And this was just Wednesday that I got put in timeout. So it ain't gonna happen. I doubt it. If it does, I'll be shocked. But I'm not gonna change what I say. I will tell you that. I'm not gonna play nicey. If I disagree with something he says, I'm gonna say it. That's me. When you talk to me, this is what you get.
Right.
I'll be nice. I'm not gonna call him. I'm not gonna call him out and bust his balls and shit. But I'm not gonna.
You're gonna keep it real.
Yeah. If I disagree with something, I'm gonna tell him.
Yeah, and by the way, that's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like that. Just keep it. And that's what I was saying, Chris. With your channel or LV channel, just keep it to your own content, man. And then you guys will find whoever it is that wants to actually listen to your show or draw from it or ask questions. Again, I try to be informative, but like, to be fair, like LV Raiders information for the combine, that was pretty good because I only started to catch up to it because during the combine it was a really busy boxing week for me. And like I said, like, dude, I literally watch it all the fucking time. Like here, I'll give you a quick schedule. Just in the last 2 days, Jeff, there was a fight on Thursday night for Golden Boy. Then there was a fight this morning in Russia, this morning in the UK in 2 different areas. And then there was one in Canada before I jumped on your show. I saw all of it.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm just saying, like it's one of these things where, like I told you, man, I try to be as positive as I can to American boxing fans. But when American boxing fans try to say, well, boxing needs this and boxing needs that, my first question is always, do you watch it outside of just, do you watch Canadian boxing? I'm just wondering. Or do you watch Mexican boxing, or do you watch Japanese boxing? Because I'm just curious. I'm just curious where your basis is coming from. America, we all know, is an NFL country. Like,
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I barely watch boxing. I watch some fights, like the bigger fights, But,
now, the funny thing is, when you say that to me, Chris, I appreciate it because to you, the bigger fights is like what you thought the Tank Davis fight that just happened on Saturday, right? That is what you think a bigger fight is. A bigger fight on a normal scale, I'm just trying to explain to you, is on April 26th, bro, there's a fight between Chris Eubanks Jr. and Connor Benn in Hotspur Tottenham Stadium, which holds 65,000 people. It's a soccer stadium. Okay. Check this out, bro. Last week, they did 2 press conferences. Then they put the tickets out in 48 hours. 65,000 tickets got sold in 48 hours. That's what it's like all the time outside of America.
I got a boxing question.
Yeah.
In Canada, do they use hockey gloves for the boxing gloves?
You know what? That's actually a really good question because I'll
They
tell
do
you
in
what.
hockey games. I know that.
No, Jeff, check this out. I was on 2 boxing cards in Canada, and I'm forgetting the player's name, but he was a really like popular Toronto Maple Leaf, and he wanted to box, so he was on those cards. And I kind of was like, this is kind of cool. Like, I mean, he kind of knew, he knew how to throw a punch because hockey, that's one of the sports where they let you punch. Like, it's literally like they just let you do the, and hey man, props to those guys, by the way, Jeff, because hockey players who do the fighting, they have to be on skates, and then they have to like hold
each other
with one hand, and then they gotta like play. Like, I'm like, man, that's legit strength right there.
Well, I'll tell you right now, just a little hockey news.
Okay.
The fans here in New England, the Bruins fans, they ain't too happy right now because they basically just had a massive fire sale. The trade deadline was yesterday. Yeah, it was the 7th.
Did the Golden Knights get anyone from this fire sale?
I don't think so. But they sent Marchand, who was the captain of the team. They sent him to who just won the cup, Florida Panthers. They just sent him. They sent him down there. Charlie Coyle, one of their other top guys, they sent him, I think, to Toronto, and then they got rid of another player too. So they just had a wicked. Yeah, Marchand to the Panthers. They just had a wicked fire sale.
Wow. So, but why, Jeff? Why?
Because they are
Riley Smith.
Oh, Riley Smith back? Oh, thanks, LV Raider. That's dope. Okay.
Because mainly they're still paying the price from when they tried to do that Stanley Cup run a few years ago. They traded basically to build the team for a win now situation in the cup, but they didn't win the cup. They got there, but they didn't win it.
Okay.
So now they're just trading these guys off for draft capital, so they can
they're
restock
totally
the
just
team.
saying, "Screw it, we're blowing it up."
The only guy that they didn't get rid of that they could have got a ton of value for is this kid called Pasternak.
Okay, and he's good.
Oh yeah, let's put it this way: in Rhode Island, in Providence, the Bruins farm team plays in Providence. When that kid came out, I think he played maybe eight to 10 games in Providence. Boom, they called him up to Boston. After that, he hasn't been back down to Providence since. And he's been up there now for like 5 or 6 years, if not longer. The kid's that good. The kid is amazing, and he's still young. So, yeah, he didn't last long. He didn't last long in Providence. They pulled him up to Boston, like boom, like that, because he was just eating the league up in those few games that he played.
Wow.
Yeah. They could have got a ton. They could have got a lot for him. But
hey man, hockey's a pretty good thing to talk about too. If you ever wanted to just get your channel
I'm
up.
not a big hockey fan.
Oh, okay, you're not.
Well, that's why when I have my son on, because he's a Vegas Knights fan. I'm sorry.
Is he? That's amazing.
Vegas Golden Knights, because he yells at me if I don't put the Golden in there.
That's right.
He's a Vegas. He's been a Vegas Golden Knights fan since they were formed.
Oh, since 2017. All right, my man. All right.
Yep. Yeah, LV Rated 10 is also a Vegas Golden Knights fan. So when he's on, when I talk to him about coming on the show with me, I tell him, I said, don't feel you have to talk just Raiders. You can talk hockey because there's a lot of Raiders fans from Vegas that are Golden Knights fans, and even some that live in California, like LV10, that are Vegas Golden Knights fan.
Yeah.
So you know, he's talked it up. He's talked up hockey on here and everything. And
Oh,
even
that's
last week,
dope, dude. You're a
he was
hardcore hockey fan. Wow, he got a Knights tattoo, bro. You're hardcore. That is hardcore. Hey,
when he
man,
was on.
what I'll say is the Golden Knights went to the finals 3 times and already won it once, I believe, in the short period. They've only been around since 2017, so they're doing something right. They're doing something right.
Thanks, Raider Ryan. I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, I've never been that big on hockey. I grew up a Kings fan, but now that I live in Vegas, I'm a VGK fan all day. But
Okay, so
I
you
don't
watch
really,
it too, Chris, yeah? That's cool.
Yeah, I've been to a couple games. It's pretty fun. But yeah, I can't really like name all the players or nothing like that. Like I
Yeah,
don't watch it like that religiously. Like football, you know, yeah, football is probably more of my thing. I like baseball too, but
right,
Football's my
right,
sport. I
right.
don't
yeah.
follow anything else other than that.
Hey,
Jason, you missed it because I did bring up Alzado fighting Muhammad Ali, and then
yeah,
Angelo and I went into it a little bit further.
yeah. No, we talked
Yeah,
about
you
it.
did miss
You could
it just before
YouTube
you
it.
came back. Yeah, just
Yeah,
before
you
you
could
came back, we
YouTube
were
it.
talking about it.
Yeah, and then JA, I actually I've been invited to Power Slap a couple of times. I just because of the transplant, I just haven't gotten a chance to go. It's a little like it's too many people in like a too short of a space. That doesn't work right now, at least. But I heard that those Power Slap events are kind of cool to go to actually as a live event. I don't know too much about the watching it on TV because I don't watch it on TV to be honest.
Where do you live in Siberia? What the fuck?
Who's that?
That was the stable
Oh
genius.
yeah, I seen that too. I was like, what?
Man,
Definitely
that's dope.
be-
LV Raider went to the Stanley Cup final game. Damn, that's crazy. Wow, he's a hardcore, bro.
Oh, he got the
LV
10 for
Raider.
free? Shoot, I would have got it too. Nah, I'm playing.
I mean that's still hardcore though, bro.
Nah,
Wow.
it is. It is, bro.
Wow, that's hardcore. Hey, respect, man. Respect.
Oh no shit. Yeah, because because I haven't been to Vegas since the Raiders moved there. Last time I was in Vegas was like 1985. So
Whoa,
totally different Vegas back then. I was
that's
only
a lot
15 at the
changed.
time too.
Totally different Jeff back then, or what?
Well, yeah,
No,
15 years
in
old. Yeah.
1985, Las Vegas was downtown was definitely more hopping. There were a lot more casinos when you go through Boulder Highway, and the Strip had like the Sands and Stardust, and like it was
Circus,
definitely closer
Flamingo.
to the Sammy Davis Jr. style.
Oh God, yeah. Oh,
Vegas,
definitely.
you know.
The original Caesar's Palace, you know, with all those white marble statues out front and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
And
If
it
I'm not
don't look like that
mistaken,
now.
dude, Joe, I think that around that time, maybe I'm wrong, but I think around the time you're talking about when you were here, Jeff, Joe Louis was still shaking people's hands at
Mhm.
Caesars. He was still like, you get to meet the champ, Joe Louis. Like
Again, I was
that's mid
15, so
'80s, bro.
I couldn't get into any of the casinos. Obviously, they were super strict.
Right.
But that was the old shitty style. Not the place you'd bring a family to like it is now. Now you could go there with a family. Now it's a different destination point. You know, it's completely different. Even if you just look at an aerial Google map of it compared to what I saw when I was there, most of the buildings that were standing when I went there aren't even there anymore. Most of those have all been
Yeah.
imploded and new shit
Yeah.
built.
Yeah.
You know,
Because actually, Jeff, if I'm not mistaken, when in '85, MGM Grand wasn't built yet.
oh God, no, the pyramid and all that. No, none of that shit was.
No. The green MGM Grand, because the original
Oh.
MGM Grand that was on Tropicana and
I know what
Las
you
Vegas
mean.
Boulevard, it used to be the big lion's head.
Mhm.
It's like the big lion's head, and then it turned into green. So yeah. So you wouldn't know nothing about this, Chris. You probably weren't even born yet in '85.
Yeah, way before my time.
Yeah.
Hey, I was mad that they blew up the Tropicana though, man. I was like, bro, that's like
Yeah.
a piece of history right there.
No,
Yeah, I mean, my goal is to obviously get out to Vegas to watch a Raiders home game, but I want to be able to do it when I can get my son out there with me. With
Right.
him being, a Knights fan, the plan is to probably fly out like on a Thursday, go to because usually hockey's like a Friday night, Sunday thing. Um, check the schedule. I want to be able to do it so when the Knights are playing at home, surprise him with going to the Knights game, and then Sunday obviously going to the Raiders game too, and then whatever pregame shit goes on the night before. It'll be a good time. Yeah, I think he'll be excited for it too.
Yeah, we
You know,
just the thing about the A, yeah, like, and I was
yeah,
gonna
when
tell
the
you, 'cause-
A's go there, good God, you
yeah,
could make a whole fucking sports weekend out of it. Go see
yeah.
all three games.
I was talking to
Tickets are
someone
probably
about it
cheap.
because growing up in the Bay Area, I went to all the A's games because I lived in Alameda, but I was more of a Giants fan, right? And I'm talking like Candlestick Park Giants with Will Clark and um, uh, Williams and the whole bit, right? Big Daddy Ruschel. So I'm saying names that Chris has no idea what I'm talking about, Jeff. But at one point there was this thing in 1989, Chris, that I want you to know about, where the Giants and the A's played in the World Series, and then an earthquake happened. They just, I don't know if you know anything about that. They did a whole 30 for 30 documentary. It was a big deal for us. I was actually in there at the time when the whole thing was happening. Not at the game, but I was a kid there living in
You're
the
talking
city.
about the World Series game, right?
Yeah, the World Series game
Yeah.
when it happened. It was actually, so for me, Jeff, it was my first experience of an earthquake, and having come from the Philippines where we don't have earthquakes, I was like, is someone like, what's going on with the
Tony.
house? Right. And then I remember I was with my friends and they were like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Get underneath the table. And I was like, why? Like I had no clue. And then you start seeing everything and you go, damn, that's crazy. I didn't even know
Yeah,
this shit exists. What the fuck is an
that was bad.
earthquake?
That was
Yeah,
bad.
no, it was a really bad one. It was
On
really
top of the houses that fell off their foundation and, crushed people, the worst of it was that double-decker highway.
yeah, the freeway. Yeah,
Just
yeah,
pancaked on top of each other with
yep.
people still in
Yeah.
their cars.
No,
You know,
I'll
there
I'll tell
there were
you.
cases where they had to amputate people's
Yep,
body limbs to get them out
yep,
in order for them to survive.
yep.
You know, it
Yeah,
it was insane. Like, I've seen video of what they had to do, the fire departments, because it was shit that we were going through for training back then, on, what it took for them to do some of that shit to get these people out of those situations. It
yeah.
fuck no joke, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, no, and I was gonna tell you, Jeff. So during that time, my mom had just got off of that double decker 80 freeway
Mhm.
when it collapsed. Like she had just, because she was
Jesus.
coming to Alameda at the time, and it's like, the fuck, dude. Like, I mean, yeah, that was insane. That was pretty bad. That was that definitely though reshaped a lot of the structures that you see in the Bay Area now, like with all the earthquake proofing and
Oh,
everything else.
there was a football game, when, I think it was actually in yeah, it was a San Fran game because they were showing the cameras shooting across the bay to Oakland, and that's when they had those massive, massive fires out in Oakland. Like, majority of the city, like, the pot that's, like, in the around the woods and everything, kinda like almost like the setup, like, in LA with all the brush fires,
Yeah,
and it just destroyed a whole swath of houses and businesses, and it was during a football game, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was a Monday night game. It was still daylight out when it started, and it was
right,
like the whole city of Oakland was, like, burning. I remember
right.
that too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So sorry, chat. We didn't want to get into a tragedy talk there. We were just reminiscing about the old
Yeah, right there, the
memory.
Oakland Hills fire.
And JA, if you are Filipino and you actually grew up in the Philippines, you have to have eaten bullet, dude. It's the thing. I'm not saying I like it, and I'm not saying I frequent it in any way at all. I'm just saying if you're asking the question, that answer is going to be yes. And I'll be very surprised if you ever ask any Filipinos that question that grew up there and would say no. That just doesn't make sense, man. It's like a normal thing. You just do it. It's just duck, bro. It's just duck.
Yeah, my girl's actually Filipina.
Oh, okay. But did she grew up there though, Chris?
She was born out there, but she grew up in Hawaii. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay. All right. But I wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised if she tried balut.
Yeah, she's tried it, but they always got me trying weird shit sometimes, and I'm just like,
It's better not to tell you, Chris, then you could taste it for yourself and see if you like it. And then
yeah.
once
There's
you
one
like
that I was
it,
like, there was one that I was like really liking. I was like, what is this? They're like, oh, it's brains. I was like, oh shit, all right, that's what we.
but it
doing?
wasn't bad, right?
Nah, it was good. It was good.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right. It's very the way I would say it is, if you go to France, and France has a lot of different foods that to them are normal and it tastes great, but you were like, what the fuck is this? Because you don't go to a
Yeah.
Safeway to go buy I'm forgetting what they call it in France, but it's basically cow brain, dude. But they call it something else in French that sounds really it sounds sweeter than what it is. But anyway, that's kind of how it works. But like, you know what? Like, for example, foie gras is one of the most expensive fucking things you could buy, and everybody loves it and it's delicious. But if you ask what it is, if I'm not mistaken, foie gras is the kidney of the duck. I think I might be messing that up. Either the liver of the duck. But you know, there's stuff like that. That's it. So I say the French thing to say that that's kind of what the Philippines is like. You're gonna try some shit and you're gonna say, "Oh wow, this is delicious." And then if you ask what it is and they tell you, I'm just saying, like, you know, if it works for you, like, there's a dish that you probably have tried, Chris, called dinuguan. Do you kind of remember this? Okay. Have you ever tried a dish where the family of your girlfriend gave you a dish, and the dish is, let's say, over white rice, and it looks like a black stew with like some pork chunks in it?
Is it the chocolate?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nah, I can't do it.
But is it because they told you what it was before you actually tried it?
Yeah, they told me.
Yeah. See, now
Yeah.
what I always do is, like, if I have Jeff and I go, "Hey Jeff," yeah, and then I start eating it and I go, "Hey man, yeah, you'll try it." It's like what you eat when you're like drinking beer, right? Like, I mean, not, you know, back in the day. So anyway, and then Jeff's like, "Oh sure," and then he starts trying it. He'll most likely be like, "Wow, this is delicious," and because it does, it tastes great. And then if I tell him, "Okay, so this is how it's made," then he'd be like, "Oh, well, I didn't think you'd be that," you know. But it's basically, you know. And again, man, by the way, let me just say, when we're talking about food, everyone on the chat here, you can go to the South in America, and there's weird, or what would be considered weird, but if you try it, you know, like to some people, chitlins is kind of weird, right? But it's just pork.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a weird point in my life when I lived in South Carolina, and I've experienced some things out there for sure, like gator and frog legs, and
Yeah,
I've had
there's all
gator.
kinds.
Gator's not bad.
yeah,
Frog legs
Yeah.
aren't that bad either, but
exactly, right? I mean, but again, like,
yeah,
you're not
Xavier
gonna
Leggett.
you're not gonna walk into a Safeway and go buy frog legs. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like is or your Albies or whatever. It's not common food. That's why. Oh yeah, Xavier Leggett eats raccoons. Yep. Yeah.
Those videos had me dying. He's like, I eat squirrels. I was like, bro.
Well, what I'll say, Dom, is that right now, Gordon Ramsay either was in the Philippines for a few months or just left. But he basically just told everybody that being there in the Philippines and actually seeing the cuisine, seeing how it's done, it's the hidden pearl of the world. Like, no one really understands how great Filipino food is. And more people are trying to market it now because they're starting to understand. Like, look, man, lumpia is one of the signature dishes, right, Chris? And the funny thing to us, dude, is that's like lumpia to us is like fucking frosted flakes, man. It's like, I mean, but what I'm trying to say is like you're not really supposed to
It's
eat that
fucked
much
up.
of it, but it is delicious and it's super addicting. But you want to try to stay away from a lumpia plate if you can. Like have maybe 3 and then walk away, bro. Because
Special occasions.
yeah, well, I'm just saying because if you start eating it a lot, like because it's so easy to eat and you just keep eating it. There's nothing wrong with it, Jeff. All it is when done correctly, it's a mixture of like carrots and different flavorings, and it's basically pork, shrimp, and chicken grounded up together, right? It's a really delicious like lumpia dish when it's done correctly. Super crunchy on the outside, super juicy on the inside. But because it's deep fried, it would be like if you ate 2 buckets of fried chicken. Like you can't eat too much of it because Chris, did you ever find yourself having that oil headache when you've been eating lumpia? You never had the oil headache, bro? Like,
bro,
you just
when my girl makes them, they're gone. I only get to taste like 2 of them, and then they're gone.
That's all you're supposed to get, Chris. That's it, bro. Because any more than 2, man, it's deep fried. It's a deep fried dish. It's
Okay.
It'll make you sick. So
Ugh. All right. I was kind of hungry, but not anymore.
okay, what are your Geno Smith being on the Raiders? We spoke about it for 5 hours, T-Bit, but we love it. I just want to let you know we absolutely love that Geno Smith is a Raider.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you're right, LB Raider, Lumpias are fire. That's why I'm saying that I try to tell people it's like Filipino crack, man. Like you got to just walk away. Like take 3 and then walk away. Because otherwise you're going to be standing in front of that tray and you're going to be eating it all the time. The next thing you know, you're going to be like, why do I have this headache? It's because it's fried.
Shit yourself.
Yeah.
My family members would be like, oh, when is she making lumpias again? I'm like, oh man.
Yeah,
I'll have to let you know, bro.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to like think about it. Like, I guess lumpia. Like, what's a Mexican dish that you just can't put down once you start eating it? Like, I'm trying to think if like birria is kind of like it, but not really, because I think you could put birria down once you get full. But lumpia is one of those dishes that you could be full and you could still want to eat it. It's literally like crack, man. Like it's. You can't stop eating it. Like, so that's why I always try to. I don't know if taquitos is really that. Like, I think I could put a taquito down. It's not. No, I'm trying to think of like what's an addictive Mexican dish.
The thing about Mexican food is like
frozen ones. Those are good. Throw them in the air fryer. They're perfect.
Most include tortillas, which are very filling. Compared to that like light wrapper of the lumpia,
Exactly. That's
like,
what I'm trying to say is it's like that's the thing about lumpia, right, Chris? Is you're eating it and you don't think you're eating that much, but you're actually eating a lot in one roll. And then you eat another one, then you eat another one, and then you get full, but you're like, but I can't put it down. And you keep eating it. And that's why I'm trying to figure out what's the Mexican comparison for this. Like, what's the Mexican dish comparison for something that you just have to keep eating no matter what, even when you're full? But I can't think of one because Mexican dishes are good, but when you're full, you're full. You're not going to eat anymore, so
damn, now y'all making me hungry, bro. I got this rule I don't eat at night though.
But that's right. I'll be right here. Mexican food can get pretty heavy. Like tamales are really good, Joe Leon. It's just that you at a certain point you get full. Yeah. I
already ate one earlier.
Yeah, no, J.A. birria is awesome, bro. Like, but I'm serious. Like, I had birria egg rolls at Carolina's. LV Raider, if you haven't been to Carolina's yet, man, you got to go. You too, Chris, since you guys live here in Vegas. But if you have their birria egg roll at Carolina's Mexican Kitchen, bro.
Bro, I was tripping because I just got back from Hawaii. I was tripping that they had birria out there.
Oh yeah. No, of course, man. Are we talking Chinese food now, Jeff?
No, my Pop Tarts. You didn't see it?
Oh,
My
your
Pop
Pop Tarts. I thought you
Tarts.
said your wontons. Right, your
See?
Pop Tarts are good.
He got the good ones too, the brown cinnamon or whatever.
There's also a strawberry one in that box too that I took from another
You're
box.
not a Crustables guy like Jason Kelsey Crustables.
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Yeah, no,
I like
Greg, those panaderias. Oh man, those are delicious, bro. Again, though, like I said, you get full from it. There's this weird thing that happens with Filipino lumpia where you can keep eating it and feel like you can keep going even when you're full, which you really shouldn't. It's literally like the other one I could think of is if you hey Chris, have you ever had Filipino lechon?
I've had it, but I don't eat pork that much. But yeah,
Okay.
like my girl, yeah,
You're
they love it.
Jewish.
Nah, I'm not. I don't know. I just got this thing where I try not to. I was just eating a bunch of it in Hawaii, though. I'm not gonna lie, but
Well, they have
Can't
Kahlua pork
imagine
there,
you
bro.
wouldn't. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Kahlua pork or Lao Lao or yeah, they got some good stuff over there. But
Or you like Julius from Pulp Fiction? I don't eat pork. Pork's a filthy animal. I don't eat pig.
yeah, something like that. But
I don't
it's
eat
more
Dude,
for
pig.
with the
like
That's
health
prices
not
going
reasons.
up right
shit.
now, bro, pork is it's hard to afford meat, So
No, yeah, yeah, it's
pork's $2 a
definitely.
pound, bro. So,
Is churros considered culture-wise? Aren't those Mexican?
No, what I'm dangerous with is I don't know if you ever tried like Spanish bread or senorita bread.
oh, senorita breads are oh my gosh,
Yeah,
bro.
bro. My girl
Bro.
put me on
Oh,
those. Yeah, those are addictive for sure.
I like pinatas.
yeah, no, those are good. But have you ever had the senorita breads,
No
Jeff?
idea what that means. I have
Oh,
no idea.
bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jeff, if you ever come down to Vegas, let me know. I'll bring you some, and then they'll change your life for a little bit.
See, I'm a
They're good. They're
if
good.
we're getting into like ethnic foods, Portuguese food's my favorite.
Okay. All
Portuguese
right.
food. Mm.
with
There's
the
shrimp. There's
paella and like the ham, like the dried aged ham,
well, you're talking about the
the
kana
hamon.
majana. The kana majana is blade meat. It's pork with
Yeah.
potatoes and veggies, and oh yeah, it's good. You can't pass that up. Shrimp Mozambique is awesome. There's a particular restaurant we go to, and when I go, I get the flat steak. Comes with French fries, rice, a couple of fried eggs, shrimp. It's fucking great. French fry.
Man,
Oh,
that sounds awesome.
mm,
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Wow.
damn it!
Wow.
Now I want to drive to Fall River and go get some now. God damn it!
All right. Sorry, guys. Sorry that we turned it into a food conversation. So, but no, Chris and LV Raider, since you guys live in Vegas, you got to try. I don't know if you guys are new here, but basically, Las Vegas, especially outside of the Strip. So if you're a real Vegas person, okay, we don't consider the Strip Las Vegas. Just so that you two know, we would be looking at you like, are you a tourist, bro? Because that's not Las Vegas. Like where all the hotels are in Las Vegas Boulevard, that's called Paradise. That's literally a county on its own. They have their own like tax laws and the whole bit. Everything outside of that, everything outside of Tropicana, that whole Las Vegas Boulevard, that's Las Vegas. And then Las Vegas goes all the way to Boulder, right? Boulder Highway, and then it turns into Henderson. So, and then that's when you guys will get your Summerlin, your Green Valleys, your Spring Valleys, your Whitney Ranches, and all of that. So, but I say that to say, LV Raider and Chris, that outside the Las Vegas area is like a foodie area, and there's a ton of different actual like mom and pop places that are amazing, that are just amazing. LV Raider, you're always in Chinatown. You get you got to get out of Chinatown and try some other stuff too. But I'm not gonna lie, Chinatown's pretty amazing. Dom, Oh yeah, no. Oh, East Oakland for sure, Dom, for sure. Like if you want real Chinese food, you go to Chinatown in Oakland or San Francisco. But yeah,
Let's see. Anybody that's new into the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe, notifications, thumbs up. Uh, go over to Raider Food Chris, his channel. Check him out. He's kind of starting off with all this stuff with the YouTube, so trying to help a brother out.
yeah. Help out Raiders Food Chris, guys.
Yep. Yeah, get
Yeah.
over there, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, notifications, do everything you can.
Yep.
I appreciate that, Dom.
Yeah. You guys
No,
can follow me at Reyes Boxing.
yep.
Any
I
of
was
you
just gonna
guys can
do that
always
too.
follow me just on IG. That's cool, JA. That's cool. Best shrimps. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I've been in Vegas since like 2010, bro. So
Oh, okay. Oh no, you've been here
yeah,
for a while, so you know.
since before the Raiders came, but I've been a Raider fan all my life,
Yeah,
man.
all the way, right? Yeah, of
Yeah, yeah,
course.
yeah. Yeah.
Where did you migrate from, Chris?
So I started off in LA, like San Fernando area, and then
Yep.
moved out to the East Coast for a little bit to South Carolina, and then I moved over
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, that makes sense though that you're a Raider fan. That makes sense. That makes sense
yeah,
because Raider fans are usually from the Bay Area,
or LA.
or from LA,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, no,
Oh,
or
New
from
England.
Mexico. Honestly, like there's a lot of Raider fans in Mexico, guys. Just so that
Dude,
you know.
if I look at my analytics on like you can look at like the breakdown on like cities and shit like that, dude, the amount of views I get out of Mexico, like Mexico City, and I forget the other town or
Yeah.
section
Yeah.
in Mexico, dude, it's insane. I know there's a big following of the Raiders in Mexico, but I didn't think it was that
Huge.
big. I was like,
No,
holy
big.
shit.
And you're about to see the same thing happen for Saudi. I'm not kidding. You're
Yeah.
about to see Saudi become a Raider. A Raider. Middle East will become a Raider country too. Now that Tom Brady met with Turkey Al Sheikh, that's gonna happen, man. That's gonna happen. That's why they're doing that event at Allegiant to introduce kind of like
Uh,
a whole thing. So, hey, T Bit, we there is Japanese Kit Kats sold here in America. I know in Las Vegas they totally sell them here. If you go to like there's a Japantown here, there's a Chinatown here, there's a couple of places I know that sell the Japanese Kit Kats here. So
what's up, Tony?
hell yeah, Tony. That's
what's
what's
up,
up,
Tony?
man. From Nebraska.
What's up, Tony?
That's why they call us the nation, baby. All across the nation.
Dude, look at me. I'm on the
Oh
East
yeah,
Coast.
Australia, Jason. That's true.
Yeah.
Australia has a lot of Raider fans. When I was there, I was like, oh shit, there's Raider fans up everywhere.
Even Wakanda.
Wakanda, absolutely dumb, absolutely. In Wakanda, they don't say Wakanda forever. They say Raider.
Oh man.
That's just for
That's almost,
the Wakanda people, though.
dude, it's almost 4 o'clock in the morning here.
Wow, are you okay, Jeff? Are you doing all
Yeah,
right?
I'm good. Dude, I'm wide awake.
Okay.
I'll sleep during the day. I got nothing going on tomorrow. Where the fuck am I going?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
That's why I was surprised.
I keep like muting my mic because my dog's over here snoring his ass off.
Far away.
Oh, is he? That's cute, man. That's super cute. What kind of dog you got, Chris?
He's a pit bull. He's a bully. Yeah, he's like.
Ooh.
I can. Don't mute your mic. Just everybody be quiet for a sec.
All right, you want to hear him?
Yeah.
Can you hear him?
No.
I bet he's a monster, though. I bet he's huge.
Can't hear
He's
him
like
now.
he's like
I heard
85
him the,
pounds.
the last time you were on with us, I could hear him that night.
It's funny because
I can't hear him right now.
he has like loud moments and then he'll like chill out for a little bit and then he'll pick it back up again. But I just got like self-conscious, I guess, from that time when you guys were like, "Who's snoring?" I was like, "Oh shit, that's my."
Don't worry about that. Are you kidding me, dude? I'm sitting. The room I'm in right now. I got a washer and dryer to my side over here.
See, I guess they could hear him.
You know, yeah, I could hear that now. Just now.
Oh,
Uh, but if I wear my headphones like this, these are so good at reducing the background noise, you don't even hear the washer and dryer running.
oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah, no, those are pretty good.
I
Those
mean, it's not running now, but
no, those trucker mics are really good. The sound comes out clear.
well,
So
This is a Razer headset. I bought this for gaming. I
oh,
didn't even
okay.
buy this for this because normally I use a regular boom mic with the the little thing on the front of it.
Yeah, I actually got
What?
this one right here.
Yeah.
Oh shit! What are you playing, Jeff? You playing Call of Duty? What are you playing?
Now PUBG. It's all Steam stuff I play. I used to play Call of Duty. I used to be in a competition team. We won a few championships back like when it first came out, Call of Duty
Right,
4.
right.
No, I haven't played Call of Duty in years, but totally different PC what I did then though too. I had an actual power style. Right now I'm working off a laptop, so but I bought an actual gaming laptop, so this thing's got all the bells and whistles with it.
Okay, so
Oh,
you're not a Madden guy then. You're not into like
no,
Madden.
I do have an Xbox, but I don't. I
You
used to
don't play it.
be. It's been a long time since I played Madden.
Right, right.
I want to
Do you?
I want to get set up so I can play Tecmo Bowl on this and stream
Oh,
it while
dude,
I'm
Tecmo Bowl is so fun, bro.
I
Tecmo
miss
Bowl
playing
is
that
so
when I was
fun.
a kid. That was the best.
Oh, the Bo
Yeah,
Jackson Tecmo Bowl was insane, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I caught
Well,
one of Afakasi's streams, and it looks pretty dope.
Yeah. No, it's like Pac-Man for football lovers, but basically
yeah.
it's so basic, dude. But it's fun. It's so fun to play. So fun to play. I was gonna say, Jeff, I didn't know you were into those type of games. Have you ever tried to play Ghost of Tsushima?
Mm.
It's pretty dope. Ghost
I
of
will say
Tsushima
this:
is pretty.
the games I do like to play are because I got a couple of buddies of mine that I used to play Call of Duty with, so we still play. We play PUBG every night.
Okay,
Um, and then I play World of Warships with my son-in-law, and I get
of
started a
course.
clan there. I love that one.
Yep, of
Um,
course.
like the games I used to like Fallout 4, I absolutely love that game. Um,
Okay. Yep.
that
See, LV
is,
Raider knows what I'm talking about. Ghost of Tsushima, bro. If you get
yeah,
into Ghost of Tsushima, while I was recovering from the liver transplant, dude. Like
mhm,
when they finally let me out of the hospital, going into my first year of being in Vegas, but I had to be isolated in the house. My cousin got me Ghost of Tsushima, and I didn't even open it yet. He was like, "Trust me, man. You know it'll help you with your recovery, but when you open it, you're gonna be trapped." And I was like, "All right," and I didn't open it. And just like LV Raiders talking about, man, once I opened it, Jeff, I'm not kidding, dude. You know how like you've done this before when you're gaming and you're like barely sleeping because you're just going and going and going. That was like me for a month on
yeah.
Ghost of
Keep it. It's
Tsushima.
to this. They're set up side by side. I'm in like a big laundry room, but buddy of mine and myself built this massive bench in here, basically desk. So I got my laptop in front of me. There's a window right behind it. Then I got my monitor on the swing arm. Then I got a TV over here, LED lights. I set this up originally to do YouTube videos for military models. Um, I still
Oh,
have that channel. The channel's still out there. It's called
okay.
the Bearded Modeler. So you can go check that out. You see what that stuff's all about. And then it just wasn't catching on for a while, so I stopped doing stuff with that. I was still making the models, but not filming it because it was kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
Um,
that's kind of cool though.
and then in
Yeah,
August of last year, I decided, you know what? I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Let me get into Raider content. I mean, I've been a
yeah,
Raiders fan since 76, 75.
exactly, exactly.
I mean, it's a natural thing for me being in a booster club. So I just named everything any Raider boosters. I
Right,
use it to promote the club. You
right,
know, eventually the goal is when I do finally get monetized that there's going to be a residual kickback to the club too
right.
to, put money towards that. So like now that I'm the president of the club, it allows me to do a little bit more, to help the club out and help the members, so it's
That's
pretty
cool,
cool.
man. That's cool. Has anybody else in the New England Raider Booster Club have a channel?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, okay.
Not that I'm
Because I
aware of.
figured if they did one, then they would just link it up with yours. And
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Because I mean, I'll get them the followers
Right,
with no problem. Because
right.
I've I've had um I've had a couple of different members on. My son included. Obviously, he's in the club too. But I did a interview one night with one of the guys that actually he was used to live up here, but he moved down to Florida. And him and I were talking Raiders talk for about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, just him and I, and it was a good time. It was good. I want to do more of that. I want to do that on Sundays, like once a month. I want to do like a club hour or two where it's just members of the club. We all get on and we just talk about Raiders stuff.
Yeah,
I can't,
yeah.
I can't get anybody that wants to really do it. So
Well, I mean, that's why it's good to go into these formats, like what you're doing right now, Jeff. Is
yep.
you're opening up a forum, right? And then
Hmm.
more people want to talk Raiders. That's fine. And what I was trying to explain to people is, when the season ended, like Super Bowl's over, there wasn't really a lot of Raiders stuff to talk about. Like, I mean, there's, Pete Carroll got signed, John Spike. Okay, cool. But like, until we actually have news, I was even telling Chris this from Protect Your Shield. I was like, and I last season I was going on a show a lot, but like I was telling him, honestly, man, I'm kind of tired of everybody saying the same shit over and over and over again when there's no news yet. So and then Turf knew, like, when the Super Bowl was over, when 2025 hit, and the first boxing Wednesday happened, and it was in Australia. It's this huge fight with the best cruiserweight in the world fighting one of the Olympians coming up, and it was dope. I was like, all right, man, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna be all in on boxing once the Super Bowl is over. And sure enough, Jeff, like when the Super Bowl was over, the Super Bowl boxing was the very weekend after it. And then like I told you, dude, that schedule that I did the last 48 hours, like that's what a boxing schedule looks like. Like if you're, and it's not just me. That's why I was telling you, like 2 nights ago, I was on someone's, like, your version of a channel. But in
Hmm.
that version of a channel, it can go on for 6 hours, 12 hours, whatever. But the viewership live straight through is like 400, because there's
Yeah, that's
that
insane.
many people that really talk boxing. But like, that's the type of channel where where you could be a casual fan and show up in the chat and just listen in or make your little comments. But if you try to go on the channel like this, you better really know your boxing,
Oh
because
yeah,
otherwise you're gonna get eviscerated. And
yeah.
and they'll actually like yell at you and call you names. And it's like, you have to really know your stuff. So it's not, I advise people not to do it. You
He
know?
wants to know if your hat's a Niners hat.
Oh, bro, are you killing me, man? Do you not? What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me, bro? It's an original. So green is the color of organ donation, and I'm 31 months post transplant for liver. So that's why you guys always see me with the green. That's why it's Raider transplant whenever you see me on everybody else's show. Hey, what is
805.
up, dude? What is, bro? We were talking for 5 hours about Geno Smith,
Yeah,
and not
yeah.
once did we have you on the comment, which is insane. Now we were talking food for the last 30 minutes, and
Yeah,
you know,
bastards. Make me fucking
I was
hungry.
arguing with Rundown about why we don't need Shador Sanders, because he's glazing on Shador so much. I finally got Chris convinced that we don't need Shador, so
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on.
I'm just messing around
I
with you, man.
still want Shador.
Yeah,
You really?
yeah.
I know.
Fighting
I
against
met up
those
with
shit.
805 here in Vegas, and he was trying to get me off that train too, but he was
Trying to
like,
work his
everybody's
magic on
entitled
you.
to their opinion, you know.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, again, and the funny thing is, like, even last year this happened where, like Turf and everybody, they went to the draft, but oh, that's funny. He was on 4 hours ago. You were on 4 hours ago.
Yeah, he
Okay.
was. He wasn't on the channel, but he was in the chat.
Sorry, bro. I was watching boxing, so sorry, man. But I do
Shocker.
rewatch your stuff though, Paul. So, um, but yeah, no, like last year or last season, Chris, So all of us had our thoughts on what we should get at number 13. And I was super big on Talisi Fuaga. I don't know if you felt the same way about Talisi Fuaga, Jeff, that I did, but I'd watch him with Oregon State. I was like, man, this guy's going to be a left tackle for sure. And, I already knew like we could fill him in at the right tackle spot. And then eventually he can take over for Colton Miller and the whole bit, right? And I did a whole trenches show and at Captain Jack's, and Wild Wild West had me on the panel, and I kept talking to everyone about we need O-line. This is going to be it. And then the fucking thing happens, Chris, in the draft where we're at number 13 and Talisi Fuaga is totally right there. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be fucking right on this shit. And they're actually going to get someone that I wanted. This is amazing. And then when they got Brock Bowers, dude, that's when everybody went like Turf lost his mind.
Oh, people went fucking nuts over that one.
He called me while I was on the live show, and he was just like, oh, like he was on video. He was so pissed, bro. And it is, and then that's when like Stuart Schwaggart was on, and then we just talked it all out for about 5 hours on why Brock Bowers was going to end up being a good pick. So, by the end of the night, we were all like, all right, cool, Brock Bowers. And then come to find out, he's the best tight end. He might possibly become I'm wondering if he's going to get a sophomore slump or if he's going to be like, oh shit, we, like this guy might actually be the next like big, great weapon that no one expected he could be,
Yeah.
So, because, everybody right now, as you know, Jeff and Chris, they're talking about Tyler Warren being like even better. Right. And then you hear about Colston.
They got some big shoes to fill, though. That's for sure.
I mean, I always think I think that where I would say Brock Bowers was amazing is that our team was ass, and he was still getting the ball.
We still had,
you know what I mean?
Like him and our wide receiver both finished with over 1,000 yards on such a shitty ass offensive team.
Right,
it's pretty fucking impressive.
Right. That's what I mean. That's what made it's like if the ball's going to him and the ball can still go to him and he can still catch the ball and get and the yak yards is insane with that kid. His yak yards are insane, man. Like I don't know what his Madden rating is now, but that shit better be like 95 because he's really, really good. Like that's a real one. Yeah, no, yeah, Paul. Yeah, no go on Shedeur. That's what we've been saying, or I've been saying it.
Me too.
Yeah,
I haven't won hit. I haven't won.
A while ago, I was surrounded by Shedeur lovers. Okay.
Yeah,
we're just trying to be realistic.
Now he's outnumbered.
We're just trying to explain to you. I'll tell you what, Chris. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, back up.
If Shedeur Sanders goes all the way to the second round, and we're at the number 38th pick, and he's still there. Sure, I'll take Shedeur Sanders in the second round. I guess maybe
I wouldn't take him as a UDFA.
Okay, see, Jeff really doesn't want him.
I just don't want him. I just want nothing to do with him. Ugh.
My whole thing about it is the minute we got Geno Smith, I'm like, you're not going to pay Geno Smith $40 million over the course of, let's say, 3 years minimum without playing him. He will not be a $40 million backup. So why are we drafting a quarterback so high again? And remember, he's not 80, man. He's 35. Okay, Matthew Stafford is 37. So if he played until he was 37
40, that's or 30, everybody was
like again, the Geno Smith thing was Raider fans get ready. That's your quarterback. That's it. Like, get used to Geno Smith being our quarterback because he's the quarterback. There's not going to be this whole talk about, oh, well, we still got to get somebody and blah, blah. Look, man, Aiden O'Connell will be a great backup, right, Jeff? Can we at least agree that he'll be a fine backup to Geno Smith? I still would have
taken him as a starter, but yeah, I think he'll be a fine backup.
Okay, all right. So then why in the hell would we waste a high draft pick on a quarterback when we need O-line? And by the way, Paul,
defensive, I take it.
just so that you know, Paul, I already have done my combine stuff after I watched all the live boxing, and my guy this year, just like last season was Talisi Fuaga, I am 100% all in on Armand Membu. That's the guy the Raiders need to get. That is the guy the Raiders need to get, mainly because, and my theory is, we're eventually going to need the left tackle. This guy is so fucking good. He could play left guard right now. And if you put that guy at left guard with Colton Miller and JPJ, that left side is going to be just fine, man. And he's a day one guy, just like Talisi Fuaga was day one. Armand Membu. I am all in on Armand Membu. I saw it. I mean, I liked him in Missouri. That's why when people say Brady Cook is pretty good, I'm like, I know, because his ass was getting pretty well protected on that side. But man, Armand Membu, bro. So Will Howard will play. No, okay. Here's where I'll disagree.
No,
with
he's
you.
saying he thinks he's in play, like to draft in the third or fourth.
I know, and where I'll disagree with you, Paul, is I think Will Howard might drop to like the 5th round anyways. I think we're going to get him in the 5th. 4th at highest, but there's no way we're spending our 1/3 round pick on a quarterback, bro. That's not happening. That's not happening. And Paul, don't be surprised, and I know Raider Nation hates it when I say this, but don't be surprised if Ashton Genty gets taken at 6, man. I'm not saying that's who I would take. I'm just saying don't be surprised. That's all I'm trying to tell people is don't all be shocked because he's a top 10 projected player. You could look at every analyst right now, and they're saying he's a top 10 projected player. So someone's getting him in the top 10. And it could be the Raiders now that they have a run. Now that they have a quarter. Okay, imagine this scenario. I'm just going to throw this out. And this is not to piss anyone off on the chat, but I'm just going to throw this out there, right? So John Spytek got his boy Alex Kappa back. I'm not saying he'll be the starter. I'm just saying he's there for depth or whatever, right? But you got Colton Miller, you got JPJ, you got Glaze. We still have Mumford, depending on what we do with him. There's still Dylan Parham. We just signed Meredith to the 1-year contract deal and all of that stuff, right? Okay. Let's just pretend for 1 second that Mekhi Becton goes to the Raiders. 5 years, $23 million a year. Okay. Let's just say big spend, Mekhi Becton comes in. So now you got Colton Miller, JPJ, Mekhi Becton, Glaze, and then whoever we're going to fill in, rotate on that left guard position, right? And it could be somebody that gets drafted. Okay. I'm just throwing this out there now, right? So you got your O-line settled. You got your quarterback settled. None of you think that it's a possibility that the Raiders might take the best running back projected in this year's draft? Because from what I remember, Bijan Robinson, I think, went number 7. Jameer Gibbs went number 12. You know, so I don't know. I'm not saying that's not who I'm saying I'm taking. I'm just saying that don't be shocked if he gets taken. So, because he's going to be available at 6.
Yeah.
Do you think any of the 5 teams before that, Jeff, will take Ashton Genty 1 through 5?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So he'll be available at 6.
If they do, I'll be surprised. Those teams in front of us have such major holes to fill, and running back's not one of them. Running back's definitely not one of them.
Okay, so Paul is saying that he wouldn't draft Will Howard, but he's saying he's in play. Yeah, but 3 hours ago I said that, Paul. I said Will Howard's in play. You're late, Paul. You're late. Everybody knows Will Howard's in play because Kelly worked with him. Now, here's one that I did say, and I don't know if you've said it yet, but I think it's Josh Simmons. I hope I'm saying that right. It's the left tackle from Ohio State that got injured, but I think he's in play.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think he's in play for the 4th round. I think if he drops that low, because he's projected much higher, but I think if he drops low enough,
he's ranked 25 overall. He's ranked 25.
Is he really? Even with the injury, dude?
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I think the Raiders are
projected. Well, he was once projected to be the top one.
Really?
He was going to be the number one offensive tackle.
But then the injury, right? I mean, it is a
Correct.
knee injury,
Correct.
so he's not going to
they're
be a
saying
day one guy.
Despite the setback, Simmons declared for the draft remains a potential early round pick pending clearing medical evaluations. At 6'5" and 310 pounds, his strength and fluid movement underline his dominance when healthy. I mean, he could be a steal too. I mean, because teams are going to probably pass on him.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Jeff.
I'm doing a mock
steal,
draft
dude.
right now. I want to see where he goes.
I think if he drops, seriously, man, he drops the 4th and we get him, that's a steal. JA. That's funny. I don't know why. Why are you doing that, Chris? Why are you saying Alex Kappa?
Oh, my buddy's a Bengals fan, and he sent me he was like talking so much trash about him, bro. He was
Okay,
like,
tell your buddy who's a Bengals fan they need to worry about getting a fucking defense because they couldn't defend my ass if I rushed Joe Burrow right now. So
No, I just
you guys need to shut the fuck up over there at the Bengals. And they're already Stephen A. Smith was already talking about how Joe Burrow needs to leave. You know, like, come on, man. Why are you messing with our team when your team got problems? Don't mess with our team.
No, it's funny because we got like Zach Carter, I think it was, and he was saying the same thing, like, oh, he's the worst, da 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 da. And then when he heard we got Alex Kappa, he sent me this thing is first in sacks allowed, first in pressures allowed, first in hurries allowed.
Okay, let me tell your friend I said this. You know why? Because your defense was so ass that any offensive line who had to play that many minutes every single game would probably allow sacks on Joe Burrow too, because he got rushed so many damn times. In fact, I had a whole argument with Wild Wild West show on the Captain Jack channel with the other guys about how I don't know why no one thinks Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the league. Like, you guys are all like Patrick Mahomes heavy when there's a motherfucker right there who literally had no team. He carried it on his back, and he was one game away from making it to the playoffs. And
yeah, it matches the cop. A big hairy gray balls. You want to see him?
That's funny. Fuck. Hey, Jeff, when is that? The draft weekday, which is in Green Bay this year?
It is on a Thursday. Is the day one. Let me get the exact date. Hang on.
Oh, hey, I'm going to respond to Rundown. First of all, Rundown, once you left, we started talking hella shit about Shedeur Sanders and how he's ass, bro. And you could tell your dad Shedeur Sanders is the same type of ass that Tank Davis is. Tank Davis and Shedeur Sanders are both.
Come back me up, Rundown.
I'm just messing around, Rundown. I'm just messing
my
around,
stomach
bro.
still hurts from the bad feeling I have from drafting him. So I still get this feeling in my gut.
That's fine. Thank you, Jason Downs. Last week, April 25th is the draft.
Thank you. I couldn't find it for some stupid reason.
Paul Rogers is going to the New York Giants, man, with Devontae. Giants aren't going to trade for Kyler Murray. That's just smoke, dude.
No, yeah, Jeff was talking about that earlier too.
Oh my God. It's not about whether Kyler Murray's better or not. The Giants are the dumb motherfuckers who let Saquon Barkley go. You really think they're going to be good enough to somehow figure out a way to get Kyler Murray in the Giants?
They're going to have to. Daboll has to do something this year, and
yeah, it's called Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. That's what he's gonna do, bro. Think it's the easiest thing to do in the world because it's the same exact stadium that they're gonna play in. They're already both in New York. They're literally just switching from AFC to NFC, and everybody knows NFC East is ass.
Even though both said they want to come back west.
Both don't know what the fuck they're talking about, dude.
Devontae misses his Taco Bell, so he wants back.
Oh my gosh, bro. Devontae Adams will be lucky to get a contract from somebody. His ass should probably go to the Buffalo Bills.
All right, so let's do this, right? So let's say, I forget what day he was released. So let's say he was released on Wednesday. Prior to him being released, the number one free agent wide receiver out there was Godwin, and who else?
Shit. T. Higgins before the.
No, because he was already franchised. There was someone else. Um, why am I drawing a blank on who it was?
I mean, it couldn't have been Stephon Diggs, dude.
No, not Diggs.
Isn't
Basic.
Amari Cooper free agent?
Yeah, but I think he was even behind Godwin as far as the rankings. So Devontae gets cut on. They cut ties with him on Wednesday. Now you look at that free agent wide receiver, he automatically jumps as the number one free agent wide receiver. If you look at it, just based on what he did the prior year and his age versus everybody else that's a free agent. So he went from someone will still take him. Trust me. We forgot about that too. Cooper Cup is still out there as a possible trade at some point too. So
dude, like,
there's
yeah,
spots for him. There's spots
Yeah.
for Devontae. It's just not with us.
no, but that's
I
what I'm
would've
saying is
I would have
with
taken Aaron Rodgers, but I didn't want Devontae coming back. No way.
I'm just saying that if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Giants, you already know Brian Dable is going to be like, sure, man, I'll pair up Malik Neighbors with Devontae Adams. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah,
going to end up
Tony,
being
no,
one of those things.
not Kuntz.
Yeah,
I'd rather trade for Hendrickson and pay him that money than Kuntz. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
No, Tony, we were talking about it earlier, and we were
Yeah.
saying that Kuntz is worth $8 million in a Twinkie. Like, that's what he's worth. Otherwise, he can go kick rocks and go find somewhere else to play.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
pay
I don't-
Hendrickson over Kuntz for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, you would trade for Myles Garrett before you would pay Kuntz $20 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Devontae Adams goes to the Chiefs. That'd be hella funny if the Chiefs even accept him.
I like what Jason just said here, and I know some people have said, well, that we still wouldn't have a true number one out of that.
We
But
have a true number
if
one.
I-
His name is Brock Bowers.
Correct, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. And I think where I heard that where I heard that before was, I think, on 805 show, he was talking about that. We already have a number one, and it's Brock Bowers. So yeah, I agree with what 805 said, that Brock Bowers is actually the number one right now. So we could pull in a Godwin or a Lockett. Keep in mind, I thought Lockett was younger. He's in his 30s already. I didn't realize
Yeah.
he was up there.
I think the reason why Lockett will come to us, though, Jeff, is because he will do it for a kind of a hometown discount to be back with Pete Carroll in a system
Geno.
where, yeah, and Gino, and in a system that he understands he'll be used, but he won't be overused because he doesn't even have to be the wide receiver too. He's literally like a rotating three now, right?
Yeah.
And then really our wide receiver one is honestly, again, Brock Bowers. Let's say you keep Mayer, so then you still have Myers, and I still think we're gonna draft somebody. I still think we're drafting someone like I mean, again, man, people don't be agreeing with me on this shit, but don't be surprised if the Raiders get Savion Williams. Paul, don't be surprised. 6'5", 230. Come on, man. Don't be
Dibbles
surprised.
feeling everything.
I wouldn't be mad if they got him.
The hot seat.
See?
Oh yeah,
Thank you, Chris.
Dibble definitely needs to win now.
Yeah.
We're
getting a receiver for sure from the draft. We're getting somebody from the draft.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
We're getting running backs for sure. I wouldn't even be surprised if we got two of them because it's just that deep. We're definitely addressing the O-line with someone in the draft for sure. We're getting someone else because that position is so deep. And we're getting a wide receiver because that position's so deep. Who is this person, dude?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's like they're fake. They're fakers. Oh, have you been on Savion Williams for a long time? Sorry, Paul. I've been talking about Savion Williams for a bit, but I didn't know you were on him too. Cool. But Paul, my guy is Armand Membu. Just so that you know. I said it first, unless Jeff said it before me. But
I'll
I
give you
said,
credit. If you
yeah.
promise not to talk boxing anymore tonight.
Oh, stop, dude. It's not me. It's the chat, man. They fucking go wild.
I'd ignore the chat.
It's the
Boxing.
chat. The chat's asking
Nah,
me.
don't blame the chat, bro. You've gone boxing plenty of times.
No, Chris, it isn't me, man. I didn't even start it. It was the see, you're doing it right now, Chris. You're doing it right now, bro. Like, is it my fault that the Raiders train in boxing? Is that my fault? Is it my fault that Max Crosby does it? Is it my fault that Jacoby Myers does it? Like, I'm just saying, man. I mean, oh, Tony. So I watched all the UNLV games
It's
last
Ricky
year.
White. Ricky White.
Ricky White. He was the special teams player of the year. And let me tell you something, man. Even though he ran a 4.6, that dude is quick, and he's a hell of a special teams player too.
What's up, boy?
So if Ricky White is available for us to get late day 3, oh, we definitely should get him. He was
Get
awesome.
late?
I don't think Ricky White will.
I'm super biased on Ricky White. I want him on.
Yeah.
On the Raiders.
Well, did you go to the Raider? Did you go to? Because I went to all of the home games for UNLV. Dude, I mean, shit, man. I'll fucking take Woodard if he's there late. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw that UNLV defense, and I'm like, shit, give me Whitmore. If Whitmore's available in the 7th or in the 6th, I'll take Whitmore. Shit, I will take those UNLV players.
A lot of people are low on Woodard. Like they think he'll go like undrafted and stuff. But I'm like, man,
I'll take him undrafted. Like,
I'll take him in the later rounds, bro. He's a good linebacker.
Yeah. Shit, I'll take Catalan right now. Do you remember Catalan? Catalan was dope, man. Yeah, UNLV had a squad for real. I will take Haj Malik Williams as an undrafted free agent right now for QB. What did you not think he was that good, dude? He was doing a lot for UNLV last season. Oh, you're muted again.
My bad. He came in and was supposed to be like a nobody and just started rocking it, bro. I was surprised.
Dude, he was Lamar Jackson. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck happened here? Haj Malik Williams, everyone, who probably will not get drafted, sadly. He's a baller, and if he wanted to come to the Raiders as a UDFA, that'd be amazing. He's good, man. He's good. He's definitely good to have at least in the practice squad. He would be a really good.
Shedeur Sanders is definitely better than him. No, I'm just fine.
Here we go again. See, dude, you're the one trying to start this shit. Why are you talking about Shedeur Sanders when we know he's ass, bro?
You're telling me you take Haj Malik over Shedeur?
As long as it's in day 3. No, just kidding, man. Shedeur, I'm sure. You know what will happen to Shedeur? Ironically,
I draft my granddaughter before I draft Shedeur.
Yeah, you know what I think will happen? Oh yeah, hey, Jacob De Jesus is dope too. I love him.
I don't think he's coming out though, but yeah, he's nice.
Oh my gosh, he's so awesome. He's so awesome. Wait, if Jacob De Jesus doesn't, I thought he was a senior year. I thought he was coming out.
I thought he was playing next year, but I could be mistaken.
No, I think he's coming out, bro, because I thought that was his last year of eligibility. Jacob De Jesus is a dog. He's a running back, but he's like a special teams guy. Like he is badass, man. Like if he's available for the Raiders in the 7th, I take him. McMillan could fall a little. Nah, man. Like the thing with and I like T-Mac too. I like T-Mac also. It's just that honestly, man, now that we got Geno Smith, Paul, I'm not trading back at 6, man, because that's now I know we can get Mason Graham. We're gonna be able to get best available that falls to 6, which is gonna be dope. And I'm still high on Armand. If I'm trading back for anyone, Paul, I'm trading back so that I can get Armand Membu. I'm getting Armand Membu, dude. That's my guy. What did he say? Shedeur Sanders, much like my ex-girlfriend, is a walking red flag. That's funny, J.A. That is,
Bro,
that is
I need to check this Membu guy out. I haven't even heard his name till tonight.
Bro, how do you not know? Armand Membu right now is like the number 10 best player according to Daniel Jeremiah. Like number 10 or number 11, bro. Like, but okay, all you gotta know is this. All you gotta know is this, Chris. That guy's 6'4, 330 pounds, and watch him run to 40. Watch him do the long jump. Watch him do the vert. This guy is a tackle, built to be a tackle, but will be day one as a guard. I want him in the worst way, bro. I like him better than Will Campbell. I like him better than Kelvin Banks. Armand Membu is the man. Well, that's the thing, though.
No
Gord
clue who just did that. I have no idea.
So Gord, the thing about Membu is he played right tackle, would definitely be left tackle. He's my this year's Talisi Fuaga, but the guy moves so quick, he could be a guard, man. And putting a 330 Membu next to a 330 JPJ, dude, nobody's getting through that left side, man. They're
I just did a mock draft, and Membu went number 8 to Carolina.
I told you, bro. He's
and
done.
Josh Simmons from Ohio State went number 25 to Houston Texans.
Dude, what are you talking about? I didn't say DL. Armand Membu is an offensive lineman. Come on, Paul.
No, Josh Simmons is offense, isn't he?
Yeah, offensive tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Josh Simmons is the left tackle for Ohio State, who I thought we would get in the late draft. But if we get Membu, you know.
Oh, you were talking to. I thought you were talking to Jeff. You were talking to.
No. Yeah, Paul
yeah.
re-sign Adam Butler. We said earlier that we would re-sign Adam Butler, but if Mason Graham falls, I don't give a fuck what position he plays, man. He is that good. Like Mason Graham is. It's like that movie, Vontae Mack. No matter what, it's Mason Graham. No matter what.
Yeah, J.A., that kid from LSU, he's probably going to end up playing guard. His
arms are short, bro. He's a T-Rex.
They were even calling him that today on one of the talk shows I was watching. Not online. It's something on, I think it was on NFL Network. I'm not sure. They were talking about.
Yeah, no.
T-Rex arms, bro.
I was like,
yeah, no, Paul. No. I did say Mason Graham earlier. I my bad. But no, Mason Graham is a definite. He drops the 6, dude. Like, yeah, I'll guarantee you right now, if Mason Graham drops a 6, and the only reason why we wouldn't get him is because we're trading our pick to someone for 3 first-round picks. Like, Mason Graham is awesome. Mason Graham would change everything. Like, you put him, NASCAR him with Butler, Wilkins, Wilson, Crosby. Fucking now, I really don't give a shit about Kuntz at this point because I'll just take Chase on. You know,
bro. Honestly, I'll take Chase on over Kuntz.
Oh, see, even Chris.
Oh, I would.
I don't know why people are talking about $20 million for Kuntz.
Yeah,
I'm talking about $8 million in a Twinkie. That's me being nice. He might get 6 and like
he
it.
He might just take the Twinkies.
He might
well, he's not a big fat guy, so I mean, he's an in shape dude. It's not like
the Twinkie will turn him into Tyree
either. Yeah. There's another winner. There's another guy we should just be letting go.
No, I'm with it. I'm with giving him another year, see what he's got. But I don't know.
Thanks,
he
Tony.
hasn't shown much.
Later,
thanks,
Tony.
bro. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, I think I'm calling it for the night.
All right.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up, gents. It was nice.
Hey, Chris. So plug your channel.
Yeah, go for it.
Nah, I'm done too, brother. I gotta do some things in the morning.
No.
Just plug your channel. Tell everybody where to follow you.
Oh, yeah. It's just it's on there. It's my same handle. I'm on IG, Twitter, and just started up the YouTube. Just Raiders Food Chris. You guys could check me out. I haven't really made any of my own videos yet, but I'm gonna get started pretty soon here. And then I do these lives with Jeff on Fridays. so far. Only 3, but we're getting it.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
cool.
you went to Hawaii for a bit too, so
Yeah,
you got to go.
that's why I got a lot of catching up to do. I missed like the whole
Yeah,
combine and all that, so I'm gonna be
that's a big puppy.
rewatching most of these videos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He
Hey,
said,
Big Papa Bill, thank you, man. I
"This is
appreciate that. Now, I hear you, Paul. We're gonna have to be
Puppy.
on a stream talking about that conversation about Butler versus Graham. I mean, I still say we signed Butler because he has great chemistry with Wilkins, but doesn't negate the fact that we need to get another nose tackle. So, but anyways, Jeff's trying to close it out. So stop trying to start shit, Paul.
Good. He's good. He's good.
No, I'm just messing around,
Um,
Paul. I'm messing with you.
tomorrow morning, if you guys go to this link, Just Raiders Baby podcast, Jay's got a show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific
Pacific."
time.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock my time on the East Coast. Um, he's got a special guest. It's going to be Josh the Goat.
Okay,
So
cool,
make sure you guys check him out tomorrow. Uh,
nice,
I may
nice.
not be on in the afternoon, but I will definitely be on tomorrow night. Same start time at 9 o'clock. It'll be myself, Chris, four Raiders, and Grandpa Rundown. It'll be the three of us doing a Friday night live show, Saturday night show. It'll be called Raiders Last Call.
Which, by the way, Papa Rundown will be watching live boxing during the show. I'm just telling you that's what's happening, man. Because he asked me for the link, and I said, "Here it is." So, do you know who E is? Raiders. Do you know who that is, Jeff? E. It just says
Nah,
E. Okay. Well, thanks.
you?
Thanks for coming in.
No.
yeah. Shout out to Jay. I'm gonna be tuning into that show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout
if
out
I'm
to
gonna
Jeff.
wake up, 1 o'clock, I should definitely be up by then. That won't be a problem.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna
8:05.
look up Lalau. Jonah Lalau. All right. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, he did pretty good this past season.
Laulu.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Laulu.
he's cool.
Okay.
He's
All
cool.
right. All right.
So
But yeah,
All
y'all
right,
have a
Paul.
good one. I'm gonna call it too.
All right. See you, Chris.
All right,
Jeff,
peace out,
thank
guys.
you. That was
thanks for
awesome.
coming on. Appreciate it.
Hey, of
Appreciate it.
course, man. I saw you guys. Like I said, I had to just finish the live stuff, and then yeah, I'll check you guys out tomorrow. But I'll if you guys are still on when the boxing is over, I'll jump in. But that should be a fun conversation. And yeah, Jeff, think about because Captain Jack was asking me about it yesterday when I do the trenches episode, and I was like, yeah, you'd be perfect for it. I did it last year with Chris, but we just talked about these are all the different trench needs, and I'm very heavy on that right now. Like I really
That's on
believe
me. Sorry.
that I'm a big believer that if we could at least draft 2 O-lines this season with our current picks, I'd be satisfied with that. Just because Parham's already in the last year of the contract, Mumford's already in the last year of the contract. I'm like, look, man, we're gonna need depth no matter what, anyways. So, but anyways, thanks again, Jeff. Appreciate you as always. You're awesome.
No
And
problem, man.
yeah, man,
Appreciate
good job.
being on.
Keep getting the subscriptions up. That's awesome. That's
Thanks,
amazing.
brother. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Again, you catch me tomorrow night, 9 o'clock with Chris Freitas and hopefully Grandpa Rundown. Then Wednesday nights, it's the Raiders connection with myself, LV Rated 10, Jay from Just Raiders Baby, and Cheeto Linus. We start at 10 o'clock Pacific. Oh, sorry, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. And then on Thursday nights, it's myself and LV Rated 10 on Raiders Coast to Coast. Same time frame, 10 p.m. Eastern time, 7 o'clock Pacific. And then every Friday night, you can find me on here until Turf comes back and puts his Friday night show back up. But until then, everybody take care. Make sure to hit that like and the subscribe and the notifications. This coming week is going to be extremely busy. So you never may know. I may pop on at the last minute if certain news breaks. So definitely make sure you got the notifications on. Everybody take care. Have a good night. Stay safe. See you tomorrow. Go Raiders.